Welcome to the MLB Game of the Week pregame show presented by Jim Beam. The focus will be the third of a three-game set at PNC Park as the Dodgers are taking on the Pirates. The Dodgers have won 12 in a row against the Pirates dating back to June of 2018. It's one shy of the longest win streak over the Pirates in franchise history. 13 straight way back in 1952, even before Pops was playing. LA has outscored Pittsburgh 90-39 in the last 12 meetings. And the key thing for the Dodgers right now, they're beat up on bad teams. They've won 17 of 19 games against teams currently with the 5 worst records in the NL. D-backs, Pirates, Rockies, Nats, and Marlins. Game time coming up just about 30 minutes from now. Dodgers and Pirates on the way. Arias versus Keller. Adnan Burke alongside the great Buck Showalter, 3-time manager of the year. So digging this up here, 94, 04, and 2014. That means 2024, you're due for another manager of the year, Buck.
Ain't gonna happen. Well, 24, maybe 34.
34.
I'm playing with house money right now. Okay.
We'll definitely talk about a lot with the LA Dodgers today. But first off, the highlights from yesterday, in case you missed it.
And now facing a guy that has had a lot of success against him in Justin Turner.
That is a high fly ball, deep center field. Reynolds out of room, it's gone. On 2-1, Turner flies one down the line to left. Tom moves over to the corner. He leaps and it's gone. Turner gets him again. Turner 2, the Pirates 1. Off Tom's glove and into the seats.
Yeah, feel bad for Tom there, but Justin Turner getting those 2 home runs. Heck of an effort there by the left fielder. Here's how the standings look. The Giants with that great starting pitching, they're in first place, 2 games up on Los Angeles. The Padres right there as well, 2.5 games back. And then you've got the Rockies and the D-backs. So the Dodgers finally won the World Series, Buck. First time since 1988. You go into this season, you go, okay, we're locked and loaded, got our talent ready to go. But they've had some issues, some injuries, dealing with that championship hangover. How do you manage that as a manager?
Well, that's why, I've always really respected people that did one when you're expected to win. It's the hardest thing to do in team sports because everybody's gunning for you. There's no little engine that could sneaking up on anybody. And let's face it, the Dodgers don't have any complaints. They've got a talented farm system, self-induced in a good way, and they've got good players. But as a manager, and a guy like Turner's a guy that you can count on, but as a manager, you don't ever let some excuse creep in. You don't say, woe is me. You walk in, guys like Chris Taylor are having big years. They're 2 behind in the loss column. It's the only thing I look at is the loss column. I don't look at anything else. But that tells you over the course of the season, we're all going to play the same games. They've got pitching that's solid. You got to trust all this. And the last thing you want to do is walk in a locker room and go and state the obvious and make it look like you're not trusting what they're capable of doing. I think they're actually in a good place. You like to come in and go, guys, listen, what a great opportunity we have here with people down to be who we are. And you always ask yourself in the offseason, what if? What if this guy gets hurt? What if this guy can't close games? What if this guy, you always are going to go to the what ifs from the youth, sometimes the infusion you get from your youth. And you'd like all your what ifs to come from within your system. And that's what the Dodgers are able to do.
Yeah, you look at the injuries they've had. Obviously, Bellinger got hurt. Corey Seager got hurt. Mookie Betts down year offensively, although he's still looking at about a 5.5 WAR. And how about the Hall of Fame import? Let's get Albert Pujols, who still mashes against lefties.
Well, and the only reason he's playing now is to win again. He doesn't have anything to prove or what have you. And he's like E.F. Hutton. All of a sudden, he decides to say something. Everybody's going to listen. I remember when we brought our colleague Jim Thome into Baltimore, it was like, wow, Jim, we're actually trying here. We're not going to leave any stone unturned. And the Dodgers, I just think the opportunity to stay connected, it's one of those things, take a shot at us now, boys, because when we get all the Cowboys back, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, Pujols is slugging over 517 games with the Dodgers. So to your point, he's trying to win, and he's still effective. Like, whatever happened in Los Angeles, fine. Not an everyday player, but Pujols, if you mix and match him well, he's effective.
Well, if you're a manager and he's not starting, which he doesn't, often, there's a force over on the bench coming off that bench.
Right.
That you can count on that's going to give you a professional bat. Off, the really good hitters can hit the good pitching late in the game.
Right.
And if you're a manager, I know you're going, all right, when are they going to use Pujols to make sure I've got something to defend ourselves for that?
We looked at those offensive ranks, and it's great, but I just look at that pitching and go, oh, my goodness. Like, every time you go, all right, Kershaw, Buehler, Gonsolin's back now. You've got so many different options there.
Well, they make runs matter. Good pitching make runs matter. It's nothing worse than a dugout for hitters to go, okay, how much is enough today?
Yeah.
How much is enough? Wait a minute. This game was 9-2. Now it's 9-6, 9-7. Come on. It really weighs on you. How much is enough? They play defense and they pitch a baseball, and that's a great combination to stay engaged. And they're going to be there at the end. We all know that. It's just a matter of how quickly they can get their people back.
Yeah, 2 games back, as you said. That's what you look at in the loss column. The poll question today, as you're building up the Dodgers and Pirates, real simple. Who will win today's game, Dodgers or Pirates? The pitchers, Julio Urias versus Mitch Keller. Keller so far this season has had a horrible year. Among the 132 pitchers with at least 40 innings this season, only Matt Harvey and Matt Shoemaker have a worse ERA than Keller. So that could be good news for the Dodgers offense. Could be a tough day for the Pittsburgh Pirates. When we come back, we'll keep it rolling here about 25 minutes until first pitch. 24 minutes to be specific. Dodgers and Pirates. Justin Turner's been one of those guys who's been great. He's batting .302, .388, .558 slug in his last 12 games. A 2 home run game on Wednesday. We'll talk to JT about his state of affairs next.
Lifted to center field. Back goes Bellinger on the track, leaping and making the grab at the wall. Beautifully done in center field by Cody Bellinger. Lux hits a towering fly ball to right field, sending Williams back. It keeps carried out of the yard. It brings rain, and a solo shot starts the scoring. Driven to right center field. He's already got 1 tonight. Make it 2. Gavin Lux with a multi-homer game, and the Dodgers lead 7-4. 0-1. Beatty hits the ball in the air, back to right. That is gone, and this game is tied. Bellinger hits one way up there. Williams going back at the wall. Goodbye! Grand slam! Game busted wide open. An 11-run first inning. 14th pitch. Driven to right center field. Oh, epic stuff. Chris Taylor unloads the bases on the 14th pitch.
The iconic Roberto Clemente. Welcome back to the MLB Game of the Week pregame show presented by Jim Beam. Look at the impact Justin Turner has had with the Los Angeles Dodgers. In Dodgers history, the highest OPS with a minimum of 3,000 plate appearances. Names like Mike Piazza at the top of the list, the great Duke Snider. I mean, you got Jackie Robinson there, and there is Justin Turner on that list. Awfully impressive what he's done so far in Dodger Blue, and we welcome him in right now. Justin, I don't know if you can see that graphic, but highest OPS, 3,000 plate appearances. You're on a list here, top 7 with names like Piazza, Duke Snider, Jackie Robinson. What does that mean to you? You made an impact there in Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I didn't know that stat, but to have my name on a list with those guys and that caliber of player is obviously something that's pretty special. But, you know, being a Dodger special in the history of this organization and the players that have come through here that have changed the game in so many ways, not just on the field but off the field as well. It's just it's always cool to have your name related with those guys.
Hey, Justin, maybe a long question. I'll shorten it up, but okay, you sit there. Are the sprinklers working back there for you?
I'm getting rained on, and there's not a cloud in the sky right now. So
okay, walk the fans through. Last night you got a night game, day game, 12:35 turnaround. What you go through? Have you changed clothes since you got off the bus?
I have not. Yeah, it was. I'm usually one of the last guys at the park. I got back to the hotel like 1:30 last night, and I literally just got here today. I'm still in the clothes I wore. And we got a game in about 2 hours. So after this interview's over, I'll go change, grab a quick bite, and get in the cage and get to work.
Justin, how about, okay, let's go back. When I got to Baltimore and you had just left, and I said, what did we not like about this guy? You know, what would you tell guys? You've been with 3 clubs. You were a senior sign out of Cal State Fullerton. All the scouts love guys out there because they play the game hard, they play the game right. What would you tell some of those guys out there that the door hasn't opened for them yet?
Yeah, I think the biggest message I send to guys is all it takes is one particular guy to like you, and if you have that one guy in your corner, you know, they can help prolong your career, and you know, that's what happened to me. I've been able to bounce around to a few organizations because one particular guy, you know, kind of had his eye on me and kept me around. So there's a lot of people in this game that can tell you, or that are going to tell you, that you're not fast enough, or you're not strong enough, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. But you know, keep going, because all it takes is one guy to really like what you're doing.
Who was the guy specifically with Los Angeles that believed in you?
Well, in LA, I had guys like Tim Wallach, who is a former Titan, come up to me and ask me if I was what was going on. I told him I was still a free agent. And then he took it back to the front office and said, hey, we should go try it and take a shot on this guy. So Timmy Wallach was huge for getting me over here.
That's great. As far as last night's game was concerned, obviously a great game for you. How about that home run? Take me through it. The left fielder has a beat on it, makes an incredible attempt, but yes, it's gone. Were you going like, no, okay, good, phew. What was your reaction?
Yeah, when I hit it, it got in on me a little bit, so I kind of just dropped my bat and put my head down, and I thought I flew out to left, honestly. And then when I was rounding first, I saw him jump up and the ball go flying out of his glove. And the way things were going for me lately, you know, I'll take that definitely. So I'm just glad I wasn't running on first base, because that same play happened earlier in the year with Cody Bellinger, and I was on first base and I cost him a homer. So I'm just happy I wasn't on first base when I hit that homer there.
You know,
Might have ran back to first and passed myself.
Jess, how do you guys keep that competitive spirit after the things you accomplished last year, and you're constantly, everybody's giving you their best shot, and you're trying to get, you know, the lure of mediocrity after a great season? You guys, it's a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a challenge, and you know, this has been talked about in our clubhouse, and you know, one common theme that comes up is, you know, everyone just watched that Jordan documentary, and they talk about how no matter what he's going through, he just finds ways to motivate himself, even when he's like making stuff up, right? And that's what motivates him. And I think for us, finding the motivation is hearing people talk about, oh, you know, it was only a 60-game season, and then the circumstances of the playoffs and not being able to celebrate, not being able to have a parade. So there's a lot of stuff that we feel like, even though we won the championship, we missed out on, and that's kind of driving us to, you know, pursue that again and get to do it the right way and get to celebrate it the right way.
Yeah, motivation always comes in many different forms. I want to get your thought, JT, on Chris Taylor. I just find this guy fascinating. He plays literally almost any position except for pitcher and catcher, and he's having a great year offensively. Tell me about Chris Taylor. How does he do this?
Yeah, he's just one of those, you know, baseball guys, and like you said, you can put him anywhere on the field, you can hit him anywhere in the lineup, and he's the catalyst that's going to do something every single night to help us win a ball game. It doesn't matter whether it's defensively or some of the at-bats he puts together. You guys saw the 14 pitch at-bat last week where he hit the 3-run double. You know, he hits for power, he takes walks, he uses the whole field. He's an outstanding base runner. I don't know if you saw the play in Atlanta the other night, infield in, and he's on third. Ground ball to third baseman. He gets inside, gets in the throwing lane, ball hits him in the back. Next thing you know, we score 8 runs. So the guy just does everything extremely well. He pays attention to detail about as good as anyone that I've ever played with, and he's a huge part of any success that we've had so far.
Well, he's a lot of fun to watch, as are you. Day game after night game. Never pleasant, but you look great. I'm sure you'll crush today. Appreciate the time, man.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Push your favorite players to the top this summer with the 2021 Google MLB All-Star Ballot. Phase 1 is underway and runs through June 24th. Finalists will be revealed on MLB Network on June 27th. Vote daily at MLB.com/vote and on Google by searching MLB All-Star Vote to send them to Colorado. Time now for the Creator Spotlight. A pleasure bringing Cowboy Jeff. That's right, Jeff Reyes who's all about gaming and sports videos with the MLB focus. He loves the Dodgers, and his favorite MLB moment, the Steve Finley walk-off grand slam to clinch the NL West, October 2nd of 04. I like the fact he went off the board there. Could have just picked last year and the Dodgers' triumphant win, but going back to 04. A pleasure to bring in Cowboy Jeff right now. I want to first talk about the All-Star game because that's where focus is just about a month or so from now. Who is the one player right now you say, I want to see him in the All-Star game?
I mean, there's so many. I don't want to be a homer, but I mean, I kind of have to go. I feel like maybe Max Muncy. Max Muncy, he's put up quite a year so far for us. He's been, in my opinion, the Dodgers MVP so far. But if I could see Max Muncy in there, that'd be something for sure.
No, you nailed it, Jeff, because you look at the other first baseman right now. Freddie Freeman's a reigning MVP. His OPS is a little bit under 800. You look at the other perennial candidates, Alonso also. Muncy's got an OPS about 940. Like, he's the runaway favorite right now to be the starting first baseman. That's not being a homer. That's being a good pick by you.
There you go. I mean, I'm glad I'm glad my take wasn't completely homerish, completely out there. But yeah, no, Max Muncy. I mean, just the thing, like, we picked him up a few years ago, and from the A's, and he wasn't really, I guess, as big as he is now. And just to see him kind of climb and ascend and kind of be the first baseman that he is now, to make him see the All-Star game, that would be my, for sure, that'd be something. My dream for sure.
Yeah, it would definitely be awesome to see. I think it's got a good chance of happening. Let's focus on you and specifically what you're doing with the YouTube channel. So it's a lot of focus as far as gaming is concerned and with MLB The Show. As I was telling you off air, I got MLB The Show now for my eldest son because we had an Xbox. Before it was only PlayStation. Now it's available to both. So I'm like, all right, let's go. Tell me about your gaming expertise, particularly with MLB The Show.
Well, expertise is kind of a strong word. I'm not really the greatest MLB The Show player. For me, it's mostly I just try to go out there, try to have fun, if I could live vicariously through my Road to the Show character and bat flip and do all kinds of crazy stuff like that. For me, it's just all about having fun, honestly. Because I mean, Lord knows I'm not really I'm not like one of those top tier players like some of the other MLB The Show YouTubers. So got to make up for it with my personality, I suppose.
Well, I think the humility goes a long way. Also, you're big into Wii baseball. There's some Wii baseball videos on the channel as well. Talk to me about that.
Well, Wii baseball, it's kind of a nostalgic game for me. I know I'm going to sound like a boomer saying this, but I know like that game came out when I was 15, 16. And just the whole, like, just it was completely foreign to me. Just like having the remote and you know, taking hacks like you're a real baseball player. It makes me really appreciate what it's like to be or to what some of these players go through, because some of these Wii baseball pitchers, they be throwing you 80-mile-per-hour splitters, and then on the next pitch they'll throw you a 104-mile-per-hour fastball. It makes you want to throw the remote at the TV.
Yeah, you can definitely appreciate the frustration that must be for actual players, much less gamers. I love the name Cowboy Jeff.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? We have Brian Kenny here wears cowboy boots. We don't call him Cowboy BK, but I like the fact you're known as Cowboy Jeff. Where did it stem from?
Cowboy Jeff, it kind of came from my good friend Bobby Crosby. He plays, he has his own channel, Dodger Films, and I think it was a Halloween special we were playing, so we were all getting in costume and all that, and I guess just one of those days I was gonna go to a party as a cowboy, and I showed Bobby. I'm like, hey Bobby, I'm gonna come to the game dressed as a cowboy. He's like, no, you gotta be a cowboy forever now. That's such an awesome look on you. And to be honest, I know my first at bat, I had the poncho on, and I felt like it kind of fixed my swing a little bit. Like I was able to swing better in a poncho and a hat. But yeah, it's not really too. I'm not an actual cowboy, but that's pretty much how I got the name. So
you're not an actual cowboy; you just play one on YouTube. I thought maybe you're a big fan of Toy Story, a fan of Tom Hanks, the Woody character. Maybe that was the direction we were going in. But listen, Cowboy Jeff.
That's part of the reason why I was a cowboy that year for Halloween. That's actually my I'll say top 3 favorite movie of all time, Toy Story, for sure.
I mean, listen, it's a great film, and the rarity with Toy Story is the the actual sequels are just as good. I mean, Toy Story 3 is arguably the best of the bunch, and that's very rare you ever say the trilogy is the best of the bunch. So we agree there on Toy Story. To infinity and beyond, we continue with Steve Finley. I love this choice. This is your favorite walk-up moment because there's so many others you could have pointed to, especially last season. As a Dodgers guy, what is it about that Finley walk-off that stands out to you?
Well, honestly, that holds such a special place in my heart because I've been a Dodger fan since 2000. And I remember up until that point, we hadn't made the playoffs since 1988. We hadn't won a playoff game since 1988. And I just remember I think it was like the second to last game of the season. It was going down to the wire with the Giants. And I remember we were plugging away. We were down by 3 runs in the 9th inning. And I was in my friend's apartment complex at the time. And I'm like, are we really going to do this? Are we really going to come back in the 9th inning? And I remember our guys were just taking good at bats, just getting on base. And then Steve Finley, just with that magic grand slam, putting them away. I mean, I remember the whole apartment complex it seemed like it exploded. Honestly, it was nuts. For me, it's just like kind of burned into my memory forever. And I know this is kind of like this is also kind of like a 1B moment for me. But Jose Lima, who passed away, I think not too long ago, he got us our first ever playoff win. That series against the Cardinals in 2004. And I think that's how I want to play on my YouTube channel, just kind of with the passion Jose Lima had. I remember him, Lima time, and he was out there with so much passion and so much fire. I mean, it's one of those things that stays with me to this day.
Yeah, he was a ton of fun to watch out there. You're right with that exuberance out there. Lima time was always a good time. I've actually met Steve Finley. I called the celebrity softball game a few years ago. He was in the game, very humble, very down to earth. So if I ever see him again, I'm like, you know what? Cowboy Jeff, big fan of that grand slam. Thanks for being on the show. And seriously, best of luck with the channel and go Dodgers.
Thank you. Go Dodgers. And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, Cowboy Jeff, not an actual cowboy. Coming up next, though, Dodgers and the Pirates. The Dodgers have won each of Julio Urias' 4 career appearances against Pittsburgh. He's been great against them. You can see Turner right now stretching out, looking pretty good. We got our picks to click coming up. We'll put Buck on the spot, a little over-under when it comes to the game today. He's fearless. You'll want these picks. Next.
And another one of those delayed steals.
He got the tag on him, he's out. Yeah, that's a tough play by Cole Tucker.
Wow. Reynolds switch hitter batting left. 1-2 is blasted to right, deep toward the wall. Gone! Home run for Brian Reynolds. And Reynolds with his 8th home run of the year ties the game at 1.
This is hard to center field, sending Marte back to the track, to the wall. Clear the deck with a cannonball. The kid, keep Ryan Hayes. You've got to be kidding me, Charlie. And now they're loaded for Stallings. Line drive to left field. This is going to get down. Jacob Stallings, the cheetah, just doubled in. 1, 2, and 3 runs. How about that? Fly ball center field. That'll do it. Walk it off, cheetah. You're hungry. Go eat and raise the Jolly Roger. What a grinded-out win in 12 for the Battling Bucks. An 8-7 victory. The Pirates win the first 3 games of this 4-game series against the Marlins.
Raise the Jolly Roger. Raise it. Welcome back to MLB Game of the Week pregame show presented by Jim Beam. Time now for picks to click presented by BetMGM. You saw Justin Turner out there talking a little shop. You think they were talking College World Series, don't you?
Not a doubt. Adam Frazier, we had him on the other day. Believe me, they're locked and loaded.
They are locked and loaded. First question here for Buck. Are the Dodgers still your favorite to represent the National League in the World Series?
Yes, but I think I'd love to see the Padres there, too, because I think it'd be great for baseball. It's really but it'd be good if the Dodgers got there, too. I love people that can repeat. I still think they're the favorite.
Yeah, I think to me the surprise here is the Mets are actually at plus 500. Considering the injuries that they've had, the Mets still being third. Braves, I still think are going to turn around.
Yep.
Brewers, I don't know, but their starting pitching has been great. That's why I believe in the Brewers.
I agree with the Mets, though, because I think they are in position to make some trades to really strengthen that club for what they may need.
Surprised the Cubs not in the top 5? Cubs right now best record in the Central.
I'm not sure about their starting pitching yet. Yeah, I'm not sold.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I like the Giants is their starting pitching. Again, though, tough division there with the Dodgers and the Padres. All right, which Dodger has the best shot at the NL MVP award?
I would like to say Chris Taylor because what he's meant to that club, moving all over the place, but a lot of people wouldn't consider him sexy enough, even though some people disagree with me.
Yeah.
But I like Walker Buehler and throw all that out. I just think at some point, I think the pitching is such a separator for them. And I think he's getting ready to have a monster year all the way around and really have people understand. I know pitchers aren't supposed to win the MVP,
sure.
But if you ask those guys in the club what's been their rock, it's been those starting pitchers that have had somewhere, I think there's 3 starting pitchers with 14 or 15 wins already.
Yeah, and it's pretty remarkable. Their depth on starting pitching. Statistically right now, it's Buehler and Bauer been the stars. But listen, Verlander's won an MVP. Kershaw, we've seen guys do it in the past. You're right. It's not like it's an anomaly. It's interesting. You mentioned Taylor. 6 different positions he's played. Who's the guy you manage? You said I could literally put him any different position.
Well, I think that's a position. That utility guy is a position. The long reliever used to be a position. The backup catcher was a position. And probably Randy Velarde years ago. I'm going way back. Randy would go anywhere. And Steve Pierce was the guy that would play. Hey, Steve, you ever played second base? No. Let me go work on it a little bit and I'll do it at 7 o'clock. What does the team need? You got to take your ego out of it to do it, and Chris Taylor does that.
Chris Taylor's not even on the board right now for the odds. That's how shocking this would be.
But if you ask Dave Roberts who's been his most valuable guy that he could count on to plug in everywhere and not take a step back, it might be Chris Taylor.
He has been great. Kershaw, by the way, at plus 10,000. Over under total runs scored in today's game. The number is 8. Urias has been excellent. Keller's been terrible. Day game after a night game. How do you size it up?
I'm going to go, believe it or not, under. Because I know on a day like this, you're the manager, you got 2 pots of coffee and walking around going, do you have a cup? You have a cup. I mean, it's a challenge to be ready. And you got to be careful about sleepwalking early in this game. Especially the Dodgers. On paper, you'd think they would win the game easily. Yeah. But this is a game where you get on the bus going back and go, what just happened?
Yeah, and to your point about the time, 12:35 Eastern, that's 9:35 for the Dodgers, right?
It's 13 hours since they played last. It's a challenge, but it's part of the job description. Yeah. What time we play. As Jim Tomey used to say, Buck, what time they play in that song, that anthem? I'll be there.
Yeah, exactly. Be ready. Over under, how many outs will Julio Urias record? You see him warming up right now. The number is 17.5. So basically 5 2/3. You take it over or under? I'm
going over. I think he's going to pitch 6 putts, even with a 14-man pitching staff. Don't get me started. They have some need to have some length, and he's uncharacteristically going to be asked to go a little deeper today.
Urias is 2-0, allowing 2 runs in 13 total innings against Pittsburgh overall, a 1.38 ERA. So he's been just electric against them overall. I mentioned that stat earlier, too. They've won 17 of 19 against teams with the 5 worst records in the NL. There's 2 ways you can look at this. Some people go, oh, so they beat up on the bad teams, that's why they're good. But the other option is, no, they just win the games they're supposed to win. Who cares?
Without a doubt. Right? Without a doubt. W is a W. They don't say, okay, you only get half a win there because you beat this team. And when you look back at your season, you should beat the people you need to beat. But unfortunately, when the season's 1/3 of the way through, roughly where it is, you don't know who the good and bad teams are. You're not going to pick that up to about the 2/3 because somebody that's not doing well right now is all of a sudden going to emerge here in the next couple of weeks. It's moving month. June is moving month.
I agree. We were looking at the division leaders right now, and if I see, okay, A's, White Sox, Rays, Giants, Cubs, Mets, that's all the way it's going to be. I think the Giants will slip a little bit. Dodgers will catch them. Who knows what else could happen? Urias will get the call today. How about the poll results? Real simple question we asked you off the top. Basically, who's going to win? Dodgers or Pirates right now? Dodgers, you'd think in the driver's seat. You've got 86% of the poll results there saying the Dodgers will be triumphant against the Pirates. Interesting. By the way, I want to go back to what you're saying about a pitcher potentially winning. How about if Jacob DeGrom could win the MVP? I mean, .72.
Why not? I mean, he's got my attention, all right? I got in a situation where, and I loved it, I got to actually watch him pitch 5 or 6 innings, nonstop, non-interrupted.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you kidding me? I don't care. Oh, that's impressive.
Last pitch when MVP was Kershaw back in 2014. I heard this on MLB Network Radio. More likely, DeGrom beats Bob Gibson, the 1.12 ERA in 68, or the Mets, he makes a World Series start for the Mets. Which one is more likely?
Oh,
pretty
great
tough
question. And your answer was?
Yeah, I was like, well, what's 3?
How about neither?
Yeah, exactly. Neither might be the way to go. But 1.12 to me feels like impossible, right? I think he wins the 3rd Cy Young, and then the Mets make the World Series. Not so sure about that. One thought on Pittsburgh, by the way. I know it's a struggling team, young team, but a guy that I love is Kavner Hayes, Charlie Hayes' kid. Yeah. You watch him out there. Isn't he an electrifying player?
He, in a lot of ways, he reminds me. I know who his father was. I had Charlie in New York, but he's got a good face. Good scouts talk about at that bottom. Here's his assets, his negatives, and at the bottom it goes other. Yeah. And they say he's got a good face. You know what he's talking about. He's got energetic eyes. He's got engagement. He sees things around him. He needs to see first base a little bit better on home runs. But you know what? The great thing about that, because they come up so fast, that will never, ever happen to him again.
Hitting 362 in his career. That was a crazy moment, though. Like, how do you not touch first base? Hey, it happens. You'll see Kavner Hayes and the Pittsburgh Pirates take on the LA Dodgers. For Buck Showalter, I'm Adnan Virk, Scott Braun, and the fellas with the call. Enjoy it on YouTube.
Keller will be on the mound against Julio Urias. Let's do this. Game time next on YouTube. A warm day in downtown Pittsburgh, a beautiful city, home to one of the most picturesque parks on the planet with a chance to show off its digs to the world. This is the MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube, presented by Jim Beam. It's the defending world champs, the Los Angeles Dodgers, against the Pittsburgh Pirates at PNC Park in Pennsylvania to complete a 3-game set. The Dodgers have taken the first 2. Hello to everyone watching worldwide on YouTube. I'm Scott Braun, stationed in the studio, and we have our analysts stationed around the country. Jerry Hairston Jr. out in California. Sean Casey's at the ballpark in Pittsburgh. Sean played for Pittsburgh. Jerry played for LA. And Jerry, you're up first with the Dodgers, the visiting team. They're the world champs from a year ago. And it hasn't been the smoothest start, but they're in good shape in the division. And who's been the rock thus far?
Well, Max Muncy has been outstanding. We call him that funky Muncy. He leads the team in home runs. Outstanding job of squaring the baseball up. OPS as well. Leads the National League with 45 base on balls and 420 on base percentage. He has been our rock both offensively and defensively. We asked him to play third base, second base, and he's playing first base today. He has been the rock for this lineup. Max Muncy continues to improve his offensive prowess in the lineup. But overall, the Dodger offense, even though the home runs have been up this year, the runs per game has been up. First to the National League with 5.2 runs a game. And you mentioned the home runs. It's only 75 home runs so far this season.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different flavor, but it still tastes good for the Dodgers so far. The flavor of the Pirates, well, it's building mode right now, Case, as they try and pick up a game in this series. But there is some major potential star power for them to build around, and it starts with
Kavner Hayes, man, this guy's an absolute stud. And when they drafted him, they thought they were going to get the power. They knew they were going to get the defense. But he came up last year with a small sample size and absolutely delivered. I mean, you look at his 2020 season, 376. This guy can run the bases. He's got great speed. But the power is what's really coming about with Kavner Hayes. Hits the ball to dead center early on in the year, in the opening day against the Cubs. He went deep, and then he got hurt. But he's back in that lineup, and they really need him. He can he's Gold Glove right now defensively. This guy can flat out go get it. You see this play to his left. He's got a cannon of an arm. So they're looking for big things from him, this season and beyond. But I tell you what, he's going to help out these two guys in the order that have already been doing it. Adam Frazier, look at this, leads both in doubles and hits. Brian Reynolds, this guy's been doing it all year long, and they're both getting on base. So having these three guys at the top of that lineup makes the Pirates a lot better. And we'll see what they do today. But as the Pirates go, this top of the order goes Frazier, Reynolds, and Kavner Hayes.
Yeah, that's the top 3 for the Pirates. They also have excellent relief pitching. Mitch Keller will be on the mound against Julio Urias. Let's do this. Game time next on YouTube.
3-1. Crushed down the line. Forget about this one. Oh, a missile. 2-0. Turns on this fastball. Yonder Molina wants it a little bit lower than where it ends up. It ends up right down the middle. There's no miss in that swing. That is total barrel. 14 pitch. Driven to right center field. Oh, epic stuff. Chris Taylor unloads the bases on the 14th pitch. At-bat of the year for the Dodgers. A bases clearing double from Chris Taylor on the 14th pitch from Genesis Cabrera to break a 3-3 tie in the 6th. Line drive, base hit, his third tonight. This one will get to the gap. On his way to second with his third extra base hit. Taylor rips one down the line to left. That's fair to the corner. One run comes in. Here comes another. Chris Taylor knocks in a couple more, and it's 7-1, now 8-1. He clears the bases with a double.
So count me back. Welcome back to Pittsburgh, where we observe the Dodgers 2020 season, best described as award-winning. So how about we appreciate it with the help of film? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That movie starred Brad Pitt. He was in a different baseball movie. How about this? How the West Was Won. 8 straight division titles for the Los Angeles Dodgers, the third longest streak in baseball since divisional era began. As good as it gets. Best record in MLB, best just about everything in MLB. The right stuff. The postseason begins. The Dodgers sweep their way through the wild card series and division series, showing true grit. The NLCS coming back from a 3-1 deficit, and then finally La La Land, the championship, their first in LA since 1988. Scott, back to you.
JP, that was award-winning. Excellent job. We'll talk again in a moment. The Jim Beam Dodgers starting 9 for Dave Roberts, and the defending champs begins with Mookie Betts. Max Muncy on a roll since May 1. Justin Turner homered twice yesterday. Then a ton of lefties in a row. Bellinger, Beatty, McKinstry, Lux. Barnes is at catcher today, and Urias will be pitching for the Dodgers and hitting in the 9 spot. Let's get going. It's the Pirates and the Dodgers live on YouTube. We're underway. A fastball delivered upstairs to Mookie Betts to start the day here in the first. Mookie going 0 for 5 yesterday. You can see on the 5-game trip, 3 for his last 22. We spoke to Dave Roberts about it this morning, as he said he's missing some baseballs through the zone and not ending at bats. Here's Mitch Keller on the mound for Pittsburgh. ERA is 3rd worst in the sport, minimum of 40 innings case, but the talent is there. It's just about fastball command, as the 2-0 is socked to center field. Reynolds heading back, gives it a look. Forget about it. 3rd pitch of the game. Mookie Betts go long, his 6th of the year. It's 1-0 Dodgers.
Wow, you said it. You said it best right there, Scott, talking about Mitch Keller's fastball command. That ball was right down the middle at 93 miles an hour. You can't miss the Mookie Betts right down the middle. He's going to make you pay. And if Keller doesn't hit his spots, it could be a long day.
Look at this swing right here. A 2-0 fastball, center cut. Mookie Betts does
There's
not miss
pitch
it.
right down the middle.
Love the rhythm
this is
timing.
Splits the plate.
Great swing.
And Mookie Betts says, thank you very much. Let's get on the board.
So there's a strike to Muncy. 25th career leadoff home run for Mookie. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, good to see Mookie Betts get on a fastball. He's been struggling with fastballs, and manager Dave Roberts talked about it today with us earlier. Really hard to get on top of the fastball. He certainly got on top of that fastball that time.
And Jerry, he went to center field, and we spoke to Dave this morning about the pull power that Mookie has, but that time he's going to a deep part of the ballpark and showing off a little bit more of his opposite field skills.
Absolutely. Pound for pound, maybe one of the strongest baseball players around. I see a ball inside right there. 5'9", about 170 pounds. He has tremendous power to all fields.
Mookie Betts with sick bat speed, and Max Muncy has the eye of a champion. And he fouls that one off. He leads the National League in walks, also leads the NL with his .420 on base percentage.
You mentioned the walks there, Scotty. He certainly has a great eye, but this past month or so, he's been aggressive, especially up in the zone, looking to drive the ball.
And he strikes out on some high heat from Keller. Let's have a look at the BetMGM odds today. Total runs, 8. Over under, do we think this is going to be a high scoring affair? Jerry, what do you think about the run line today?
Well, that's a generous over right there, over 8. I think it's going to be around 8. I know Keller's struggled a little bit with his command, but the Dodgers are looking to swing the bat here.
And the thing with the Dodgers offense lately, it's been streaky, but in about the past week, we've seen them explode for a double-digit run inning. We've also seen them on Friday put up 8 against the Braves. That one's up the middle. Justin Turner has himself a knock as he keeps the momentum going from yesterday. Case Justin Turner yesterday with 2 homers. He loves hitting off Tyler Anderson, and that theme continued. He had a multi-hit performance, and he's locked in.
His bat, man, when Turner gets going, when you see him hit the ball in the ballpark, center field, left field, this is where he's the best. So going back up the middle, that's a great sign for the Dodgers right there.
He's got one of the prettiest right-handed swings you'll ever see.
Now it's Bellinger taking a breaking ball for a strike.
Cody's missed some time this season, around 7 weeks, looking to get his timing back in the batter's box. But once his timing is back, he's as deadly a hitter as there is. The kids call him Cody Love here on the West Coast.
Jerry, I'm going to rely on you for all of the nicknames. I was watching you yesterday too give Justin Turner something I hadn't heard before. I believe it was Dream Red as Bellinger strikes out on 3 pitches. Good fastball from Keller to beat him.
Well, he's got a variety of nicknames. He's Mr. JT, especially when he has multi-homer games. We also call him the Red Dream. That's a pretty good fastball up in the zone to get Bellinger.
That's what they'd like to see more of from Mitch Keller. Fastball command wasn't a huge issue for him in the minor leagues. And then in the major leagues so far, there's been a bevy of walks to his line the past couple seasons. And then also some misses over the plate. And if you do that to this Dodger team, Case, you're in trouble.
You're definitely in trouble. You know, one thing, when you watch Keller pitch, it looks like he doesn't attack the zone sometimes. You know, I think that's where you talk about fastball command. You know, he's kind of dancing a little bit. So, yeah, for Mitch Keller, he's got to be right on, because if he misses today, the Dodgers will make him pay.
And even though the Dodgers are a patient group, they're hunting pitches up in the zone, especially middle of the play. So they're going to try to get into favorable counts, especially against young pitchers like Keller.
Now bringing the good stuff. Good life on his fastball. He lasted just 2 innings on Friday against Miami. Gave up a couple hits and a pair of runs. Left the game early with heat illness. It ended up affecting him with his stomach as well. Had some stomach issues. They placed him on the COVID injured list for a couple days. Everything checked out okay, and he's back in action on turn for this outing. That's sent to left field. Kai Tom right there. to put away the Dodgers, but not before Mookie Betts strikes to start the day. Third pitch of the afternoon. And this is the bat speed. The quick hands. The former MVP putting the Dodgers on the board first.
This is hard to center field, sending Marte back to the track, to the wall. Clear the deck with a cannonball. The kid, Brian Hayes. You've got to be kidding me, Charlie. And a line drive past third for Brian Hayes. 6-2.
Yeah, that wasn't just a seeing eye ground ball. I mean, he hit the heck out of that.
2 more in. 2 hits tonight for Hayes, on base for a third time. 2-run homer in the first. Hard to right, back Cooper. And looking up, and it's off the wall. Another rocket to right field for Brian Hayes. Into third with a triple, and welcome back. He's 2 for 3. Hayes with a fly ball toward left center field. Dickerson is over, and that's in the gap. Brian Hayes into second base with a leadoff double. You can't keep him down.
Top of the zone, just a great swing. I don't remember ever seeing a guy start like he has.
Dodgers up a run already. It's the Jim Beam starting lineup for the hometown Pittsburgh Pirates. Adam Frazier leads baseball in hits. Brian Hayes brings the bat and the glove. He's been great since coming off the injured list. Ryan Reynolds is the switch hitter. Jacob Stallings having his best offensive season. Then there's Evans, Gonzalez, Tom Newman with his contact, and Keller in the 9 spot. Arias deals to Frazier. Fastball misses away, and it's 1-0. Julio Arias making his 13th start of this season. ERA in the mid-3s. Last time out was Friday, a win against Atlanta. 5 innings and 1 run. He's been excellent. He's been giving this team much more length this season as well. Frazier fouls it back. And let's go over the keys for Arias, presented by Jim Beam. Jerry?
You know, the keys for Arias, and really for the Dodgers, Arias has to pitch deep in this ball game. Last night turned out to be a bullpen game, so we need at least 6 or 7 innings out of Arias. Early offense got that with Mookie Betts. And if you're Arias, a left-handed pitcher, you cannot let right-handed Hayes beat you. He's got tremendous power.
Yeah, Brian Hayes on deck. Frazier unfazed with 2 strikes as he has 78 hits on the season, riding a 12-game hit streak at the moment, and a big bounce back for him. You have to keep in mind, Case, that last year was just a 60-game season. There were a few bats in this lineup that just never got it going. Then you start pressing because you know the end is near. Just a .230 batting average last year for Frazier as he fouls another one off.
Yeah, I think Derek Shelton was talking about that before the game, that, you know, once you struggle sometimes as a player, you try and get those 3-4 hits that next game. And with a 60-game season, you just never catch up. Adam Frazier this year has really come out with that short swing, got hot early, and he's never stopped.
Especially in today's ball game with a lot of guys trying to lift the baseball, try to hit home runs. Frazier's a throwback. Contact guy, looking to go the other way, doesn't strike offense. So he's been outstanding putting the bat on the baseball.
Look at this battle from Adam Frazier trying to work up that pitch count. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Adam Frazier knows how to swing the bat, and earlier today Derek Shelton told us, I've never seen anyone as short to the baseball as Frazier. You can see red, hot, good, cold, bad. There's a lot of red on this batting average by zone.
There's no way to pitch this guy, really. It's that up and in is where you get him. And you got him, Urias got him out front right there, but Frazier's really covered the whole plate and covered every zone so far this season.
He takes what is given, but that time nicely done by Urias to win the battle. It's the Dodgers defense presented by Jim Beam. Urias playing catch with Barnes, Muncy, McKinstry, Lux, Turner infield, Beatty, Bellinger, and Betts outfield.
And really, you have two center fielders out there with Cody Bellinger and Mookie Betts. They can go get it.
Inside to Hayes, and also keep in mind that in Pittsburgh, it is the largest left field territory in MLB. So there'll be extra work, extra running, perhaps, for Beatty this afternoon.
And that's where Cody Bellinger comes in. Matt Beatty doesn't play a whole lot of left field, so Cody Bellinger should be shading a little bit toward left center field to help Beatty, because you know you have Mookie in right.
Hayes with a drive, left center. Bellinger giving it a look, and it's going to kick up off the wall. Brian Hayes will head to second base with a stand-up one-out double.
Great at bat right there by Hayes. I mean, when you go back and look at that, Urias tries to come middle in first with the fastball, then he drops a changeup on him away, gets it in the 2-0, and then he gets right here, he kind of throws another changeup, and this right here, you know, Jerry, in the big leagues, when you get a changeup that doesn't have much action and it stays up, man, it's like a BP fastball. Brian Hayes does a great job of staying through it and driving it to left center.
It was a hanging cambio right there by Urias, and Hayes was all over it. Very fortunate for Urias that he kept it in the yard.
Number 3 hitter Brian Reynolds.
I think you're going to see a little bit more often for Julio. More of the breaking ball, first pitch changeup to keep these Pirates hitters off balance.
Those two have been his most dominant pitches. You see the curveball is how he starts Reynolds. It's more of a slurve. Second pitch, he goes after it. Center field, drifting back Bellinger to make the catch. Hayes will tag up.
And Bellinger just coming back from that leg injury, showing his great range right there, going back on the ball. He's as good as it gets in center field as far as going back on the baseball.
Yeah, Dave Roberts told us about
pretty good show hair too.
Yeah, show hair, elite defense, and hasn't completely turned it on yet, the 2019 MVP, but his manager actually gave us a prediction that he said we could use today. He goes, Cody's going deep on a hanging breaking ball this afternoon. Book it.
There's Doc right there in the shades. Career .391 hitter there in Pittsburgh.
Doc could swing it, man. You know, we talk about his stolen bases, but he could swing it a little bit too.
Yeah, he could swing it.
Hey, this is a guy right. Hey, Bronny, this is a guy right here that, you know, that's been really got a chance to play Stallings. You know, they love him as a Gold Glover behind the dish, but he's really swung the bat well for the Pirates this year.
Lux will throw across, athletic play to complete the first. And Hayes is stranded at third. Urias and the Dodgers up 1-0 after 1.
Brian Hayes hitting .348 now on the season. It's this hard the other way. Does it stay fair? It is gone and hit the pole. An opposite field home run for Brian Hayes. Dodgers are either asking for a review of the home run, or they also appealed first base. He did miss first. They're calling him out. That's unbelievable. Holy smokes.
Yeah. Pollock at third, 2 gone. Mookie Betts swats this one in the air, right center field. Back goes Reynolds, still going, lays out, can't get it. Up against the wall. Pollock can walk home. Betts sprinting for third with an RBI triple. Dodgers lead it 2-0. That pitch is drilled left center field. Forget about it. Home run, Chris Taylor. Sounded like a shotgun going off. 8th of the season for Taylor, and the Dodgers lead 5-0.
Six, 7, and 8 due up for the Dodgers in the second. Here's a look at Mitch Keller and the inconsistencies we've seen so far this season. A breakdown. Some starts he's electric, others he's searching. And fastball command is the story. Let's set up the Jim Beam keys for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Case?
Well, I think that's the key right here. Mitch Keller, he's got to throw strikes. You know, he has 26 walks and only 44 innings pitched. That's really not going to get it done, but that's going to be the key today. Top of the order production, we saw Brian Hayes already has that big hit early in the game. That has to be huge for them. And the bullpen consistency for Derek Shelton. He's been able to go to those guys at Rodriguez at the back end. They've been really good, so they got to be consistent again today.
We had a nice chat with Derek Shelton this morning. I love his demeanor, and he knows what he's working with right now. The Pirates checking in at 23-37. They had the worst record in the National League last year. They're still building themselves back. So you have to bring that positive attitude, all the good vibes every day to the ballpark and utilize your job not just as trying to win games, but also teach and develop baseball players.
And he's very intelligent. You know, he's got a Southern Illinois background education. So he knows his game.
Where did you go to school, Jerry?
I also went to Southern Illinois.
There we go.
Atta baby, Jared. Atta baby.
Look at those shades. Just a good-looking beast right there.
Only the kind of
Zach McKinstry up for the Dodgers. He reminds me of a better-looking version of Skip Schumacher. Same swing, same approach at the plate, but way better looking.
Hey, Jerry, what do you like about him? You know, you get a chance to see this guy a lot. What do you like most about McKinstry?
He's a throwback, a scrapper type, great bat-to-ball skills. And he could play anywhere defensively now. He's really developed himself as an outfielder, too. Can play second, some short. He's kind of a poor man CT3 right now.
Third strikeout for Keller. Here's a look at the Jim Beam defensive alignment for the Pirates. Keller and Stallings, the battery. Eric Gonzalez at first for Colin Moran, who was hit by a pitch yesterday. Frazier and Newman, the double play combo. Hayes at the hot corner has a sweet glove. Tom Reynolds Evans from left to right in the outfield. And now it's Gavin Lux, 23 years old. He has taken off since taking over as the starting shortstop for the Dodgers since Corey Seager went down in mid-May with a fractured right hand.
And Scott, he's really grown up, knowing that Corey Seager was lost for at least a month, 6 weeks. So this Dodger team needed him. He swung the bat on cue, rocket to left.
Through the left side. He's on with a one-out single.
But he's been solid defensively as well as offensively. So he's starting to grow into that player the Dodgers knew he could become.
Well, when I watched Lux when he first came up, I was like, man, this kid really uses the whole field. That was a case right there. Got to change him away. Does a great job visually of letting that ball travel and shooting it to left.
Especially in today's game with so many shifts, if you can handle a bat, there are so many hits out there.
And that's why when Seager went down, the Dodgers really don't skip much of a beat. 36 wins, 25 losses, a very competitive National League West. They're 2 games back of the first place Giants, a half game better than the San Diego Padres, one of their newer rivals in the division.
And you got Austin Barnes at the plate right here. The kids call him the real AB. Does an outstanding job handling the bat and handling the pitching staff.
Jerry, I heard teammates also call him Sam, a story that goes back to Chase Utley's days with the team when he was telling him to grab some food, and A.J. Ellis at the time on the Dodgers said, "You don't even know his name," and Utley joked, "Yeah, I do, it's Sam."
And it stuck too. Chase Utley still around in the LA area. But you're right. He was a great leader for this Dodger team. And Sam, also known as Austin Barnes, has become quite a leader himself.
And a 4-pitch walk. 2 aboard now for the Dodgers. JP, how competitive is this NL West? Even more so maybe than we thought?
I think so. The Giants have changed everything, Scott. You look at this division within the National League, the top 3 teams in run differential among any NL team, all 3 of them right now are in the National League West, of course, led by the surprising San Francisco Giants. All those names on the old World Series winning teams, Posey and Crawford, Belt for a while, certainly all contributing in a big way. It's made the Dodgers' bid to repeat all the more challenging.
We had the Giants on YouTube a couple weeks ago. I believe the final tally was 19-4, their win over Cincinnati. It's a team that has done a really nice job of picking up starting pitchers this offseason. That's a foul ball. Don't worry. But also, the Giants have some sneaky bats, both veterans that have kind of hit their prime again in Buster Posey and Brandon Crawford, and then some new guys as well, like Mike Yastrzemski. I know, Jerry, you get to see the Giants quite a bit. How surprised are you with their production?
A little bit surprised, especially their starting pitching has been outstanding. In case you know this, anytime you get great starting pitching, you're in every ball game. And then, Scotty, as you mentioned, the rebirth of Buster Posey. And Evan Longoria's had an outstanding season so far, so they're playing good baseball.
That's a fair ball, and Urias will advance both runners. Nice job on the bunt. I saw him do that last week on Friday against the Braves to spark the big inning for the Dodgers. It was actually a suicide squeeze at the time that scored a run. So Urias does his job again this afternoon, and 2 are in scoring position.
All about the fundamentals right here. Julio does a great job getting it down, and even though it's a little bit of a pop-up, it's down. Soft bunt. Yeah. All about the execution. That's like my lob wedge right there, Case. On the green, get the job done.
Just gotta putt it from there, Jerry. You just gotta putt it from there.
Now it's Betts.
That's the problem.
Yeah, Betts had the homer in his first AB. Case should, or Jerry, well, I'll go to you first, Case. Should Ke'Bryan Hayes be playing even closer to Urias on that play, knowing what's coming?
I don't. You know what? He was in. He was still in. I don't think he should have been any closer, but he was still in, and the ball kind of fell in that Bermuda Triangle and just got down just enough that Hayes couldn't get it.
And Julio's also a good athlete. He can handle a bat. If Hayes is charging, he has the go-ahead to go slash from Dave Roberts. So you got a chance to, as a third baseman, you got to lay back a little bit, make sure he gets the bunt down, and then make the play.
StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Mookie Betts on pitch number 3 of the day. Loved all of that one. 417 feet to deep central.
I just love that swing by Mookie Betts. Great show chain right there. Outstanding top hand. I think that's the key to his swing. When he finishes swing, that's when you see the power.
It looks like Keller's pitching him really careful here. It's almost like the intentional, unintentional walk. You know, they're not really looking to give him much right there. A little curveball, 3-1 on the outer half.
And you got Max Muncy on deck, so don't be too careful.
And Turner after that, who homered twice yesterday.
Oh, boy.
Hitters count Did he go? He did. Full boat.
That's pretty good
Another
breaking ball
slider
right
right
there.
there.
3-1 pitch.
Yeah.
Looking for the fastball, got the slider.
Slider is the second most used pitch in the arsenal for Keller. Four-seam dominates, and that time that one just missed. Almost landed in the zone by accident, but it's ball 4 to Betts.
You got to give Keller some. You got to give Keller some credit right there, because he comes here with a 3-2 curveball. Looks like he might have got the top of the zone right there. You know, obviously the umpire didn't give it to him, but he pitched Mookie Betts tough right there. Didn't give in to him, was giving him sliders and curveballs, and barely walked him in the end.
And up comes Max Muncy, who's been the Dodgers' best overall hitter. 13 bombs on the season.
Good fastball inside from Keller.
This stat's surprising. 182 career hitter with the bases loaded.
And just in general this season, Muncy is 2 for his last 17, and now 2 strikes against him, and he's mad about it.
Well, this is what they want Keller to do with the fastball. Establish the fastball in. Obviously, they're attacking Muncy in. 95 in, 96 in. Another one right here. But if you're going to get it into Muncy, you better bury it just like he did where Muncy wasn't able to get to it.
Bases loaded. Big pitch from Keller. And he misses inside.
That's a pretty good slider there at 87 miles an hour by Keller. You see the defensive shift right there on Muncy. Muncy, the last couple weeks, has done a pretty good job with 2 strikes going the other way. Look for him to try to get something up, shoot it to left field.
He does shoot that ball to deep right, but it's twisting, and it is a long foul ball.
Wow. Wow, Muncy wants that pitch back, because that was a hanger. If he waits a tick longer, that's why this is a game. This game is a game of inches, man. If he waits a tick longer, that ball's in the river. Fair.
Yeah. I said left field, but he looked like he was looking to go to Philadelphia with that swing.
Yeah, he was. Man, he's come inside to Muncy almost on every pitch. You wonder if he's going to try and do something soft away, or does he continue to pound him inside?
You're right, Case. If I'm Max, I'm kind of looking out there. Everything has been in, maybe to keep me honest, or maybe a fastball or a breaking ball away.
1-2 on its way. And that's a spinner, and that'll twist out of play.
Nah, he continues, looks Jerry to come back in there. 98 again, down and in. But you know, I know as a hitter, if I'm being attacked and you keep attacking me in, you know, you're trying to deceive me. As a hitter, if I keep seeing in, man, at some point I feel like I'll be on it. So that's why I say it should be interesting to see if Keller and Stallings don't try and go away at some point, but looks like the approach right now is attack him inside hard.
Yeah, either away or in off the plate.
Got him to pop it up. Tom has it. And the inning is over. Dodgers leave the bases loaded. They do have one from the Betts homer in the first as we head to the Pirates half of the second.
And now facing a guy that has had a lot of success against him in Justin Turner.
That is a high fly ball, deep center field. Reynolds out of room, it's gone. Home run, Justin Turner continues to master Tyler Anderson. His second home run against him, his 10th of the year.
2 aboard for Polanco. Lined off the glove of Pujols. Runner waved home. The throw to the plate. He is going to be safe. What a slide if it holds up for Reynolds. Right to that edge. Feet first and snuck in there.
Justin Turner, who homered in the first inning, his 10th of the year.
On 2-1, Turner flies one down the line to left. Tom moves over to the corner. He leaps and it's gone. Turner gets him again. Turner 2, the Pirates 1. Off Tom's glove and into the seats.
So 2 outs. The tying run. Tom moves to second. And it's all up to Ke'Bryan Hayes.
Up the middle and caught. Game over. And the Dodgers win it 2-1.
This is the MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube, presented by Jim Beam, Scott Braun, Jerry Hairston Jr., Sean Casey, and JP Morosi. Checking out the NL West standings. Look at the Giants go 38 up, 23 down. The Dodgers in the 2 spot, just a tick ahead of the San Diego Padres. It's the big 3 in the division, and it cues up our first poll question of the day on YouTube. You can weigh in on your smartphone, your tablet, your computer. Where will the Dodgers finish the regular season? Champs in the division, first NL wildcard, second NL wildcard, or miss postseason? A team that has won 8 consecutive division crowns. Jerry, you watch this team on a daily basis. I feel like I know what your answer is going to be.
They're going to win the division. You know, the Giants have played well. The Padres have played well. But those 2 teams should have separated themselves from the Dodgers while Cody Bellinger was hurt for 2 months, while Corey Seager is still hurt. The Dodger team has been plagued by injury, and yet they're still in the mix. So once they get healthy, I expect them to really take off in the second half.
Yeah, I agree with Jerry there. I mean, this Dodger team, I really believe they're built for the marathon of 162. And they've had some injuries, and they're still 11 games above 500. So I think at some point they make a nice run here.
Nice 2-strike knock from Phillip Evans to set the table for the Pirates in the home second. But hey, it's not just the regular season. It's what this team is capable of in the postseason. They won the World Series last year. They're also missing a few players. And Bellinger's back, but he missed 46 games. McKinstry, Rios is out for the season. Pollock is pretty fresh off the IL. Seager's still hurt. Luck spent a little bit of time off the roster, and Betts has missed 8 games as well. I guess Luck's technically just missing some of those days without a trip to the injured list, but there's Bellinger, who's missed the most time so far. Point being, not the healthiest squad. That's opposite field hitting for the Pirates, and it's Eric Gonzalez in business. And the Pirates are going to send home Evans. Here he comes head first. He's in there. We're tied at 1 on the RBI double from Eric Gonzalez.
Wow, Gonzalez got a pitch right there, was able to get inside it. Just kind of loop it to right field. But Evans does a great job of really getting on his horse and scoring from first base. It looked like it rattled in the quarter on Betts. But, man, still has a cannon. Betts almost came up, almost got him at the plate. But you'll see right here, Gonzalez gets a pitch middle in. It does a great job of kind of getting on top of it and just shooting it to right field.
And a really good job of staying inside this baseball. And a really good base running here. Understand, you know what? I'm not going to take anything for granted. Even though Mookie Betts is in right, I'm going to hustle all around third base to score.
Two hits to start the inning for the Pirates. Evans opposite field single, Gonzalez with the double to tie up the game, and now it's Kai Tom.
The key here for Urias is to limit the damage. Even though you get up a run, you got a runner on second base.
That one skips away from Barnes, and moving up 90 feet is Gonzalez.
That's one of those things Austin takes pride in blocking the baseballs in the dirt. This breaking ball in the dirt gets away. Will be ruled a wild pitch, but usually Austin Barnes keeps that in front of him. He's such a great catcher back there. Those secondary pitches are important for Julio. You know, the fastball command's important, but the curveball and changeup has to be down.
There's one of those secondary pitches. The fastball's been hit at a really healthy clip by opposing batters so far this year against Julio, and you can see the non-fastballs at just $127. That's the curveball and the changeup. And 2-2 is shipped to right. Betts is gonna grab it. Made it look easy, but here comes Gonzalez. What a throw from Betts, and it's on the money.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
He does it so casually.
Whirl and twirl. A rocket to home for the out. One of the best right fielders I've ever seen.
The athleticism from Mookie Betts is just, it's unbelievable. I mean, I was thinking on this ball right here, I was like, I don't know if they should send him because Betts has an absolute cannon, but the athleticism right here, Jerry, to come in and watch the spin. He comes in almost like he's an infielder, spin throw right on the money. I mean, unbelievable play.
Incredible catch, and then the turn around and throw a dart to home plate on time. Incredible play.
And we're on to Mitch Keller.
Hey, you guys, this guy's one of the best athletes in all of sports. Incredible golfer, incredible bowler. He trains as a basketball player in the offseason to make sure he has his agility. A complete athlete.
Well, he's got it. And make that Kevin Newman in the 8th spot first before Keller. First outfield assist of the season for Mookie Betts out there and right. He just did it so smoothly.
Because nobody runs on him.
Exactly.
In case you know this, I say it all the time. Baseball players are the best athletes. They have to be able to do everything. You have to throw like a quarterback. You have to run like a wide receiver. Hit 95 to 98. And Mookie Betts is as good as it gets.
And especially, you know, a guy like Mookie Betts, I think last year and that run of the World Series championship, we really got to see his talents on display with the catches he was making, the throws, and how he was swinging the bat.
First strikeout of the day for Urias, but Betts is the star of the second. Baseball player. Makes a name for himself every game in a variety of ways.
Lifted to center field. Back goes Bellinger on the track, leaping and making the grab at the wall. Beautifully done in center field by Cody Bellinger. Lux hits a towering fly ball to right field, sending Williams back. It keeps carried out of the yard. It brings rain, and a solo shot starts the scoring. Driven to right center field. He's already got one tonight. Make it two. Gavin Lux with a multi-homer game, and the Dodgers lead 7-4. 0-1. Beatty hits the ball in the air, back to right. That is gone, and this game is tied. Bellinger hits one way up there. Williams going back at the wall. Goodbye. Grand slam. Game busted wide open. An 11-run first inning. 14th pitch. Driven to right center field. Oh, epic stuff. Chris Taylor unloads the bases on the 14th pitch.
It's the MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube, and adding to this unique viewing experience, don't forget to check out YouTube's live game commentary that features MLB and the team channels today, the Pirates and the Dodgers, and a select group of YouTube creators. You can view the live game commentary on your computer, your mobile device, your smart TV. We're going to keep an eye on the discussion throughout the broadcast, and we're going to talk to bench coach for the Pirates, Derek Shelton, very soon, so we'll take your YouTube creator questions for that. Movie Gaming TV saying NL West one heck of a division right now during that discussion. And also, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. We hop into the third. It's Turner, Bellinger, and Beatty due up for the Dodgers, and Turner fouls off the first pitch. Also in that live chat, Ashley Sanders said, wow, leaves the Dodgers with a goose egg during the top of the inning, talking about Keller, and the Pirates capitalizing during the bottom. They score a run to answer, but it could have been much more. Mookie Betts made a standout play in right field. The catch and then the throw, like he had been doing it for years, so easily. Just somebody who's calm, collected, Jerry, and Mookie is also so sure of his ability that there was just no rush factor. He knew how the baseball would get there in time.
And manager Dave Roberts talks about all the time that he works on his craft every single day. You see Justin Turner get hit. Not in the face, JT, not in the face. Especially if you want a career in TV after your career of playing baseball.
Which could be in
but
line
back to
for
Mookie
him.
Betts. Yeah, he's one of the best athletes, but he doesn't take anything for granted. He works extremely hard.
What's that case? Left tricep?
Yeah, this hurts. This hurts right here. Yeah, but you know what? There's a little meat on the bone right there. You know, he has the elbow pad. You take it into the tricep, you're like, it's not bad. It's going to be a little tight. So that's why he's got that shield on the elbow. That's where you don't want to get it, where there's no meat.
Yeah, and he works extremely hard in the weight room, and that's why you build those triceps up. Just in case you get hit by a baseball, it doesn't phase you.
It's dips. It's preacher curls.
That's right. Tricep
Especially
Tuesdays.
if you're in LA, right? Tricep Tuesdays.
Yeah, in LA, you got the beaches here, perfect weather. Got to have that beach body. I know his wife Courtney is on him about making sure that body stays tight.
Great job, Courtney. We know you're watching. JT looks fine. And he leads off the third on first. Now Bellinger has a 3-0 count.
Now, Casey, 3-0 count. If you're the manager, you let him hit here? You let him swing away?
Heck yeah, you kidding me? I let Bellinger take a rip right here, knowing that Keller, this inning looks like he's a little all over the place. He could groove one right here, and Bellinger can make this 3-1.
He does take a healthy hack, and his manager also predicted a home run for him, so I'm sure he's giving him the green light today even more so.
That's right. He's like, swing out, swing, just keep doing it. Take some rips, 3-0, 3-1, whenever you want.
And we talk about Dodger nicknames. JT calls him Bopper because of his power.
Very hip. Another big swing from Bellinger. He actually has 4 career homers on 3-0 counts. I know for some guys they always avoid. Bellinger, though, can be aggressive. His best season at the plate in 2019, his first half that year was out of control. And he really got his strikeout to walk ratio in check that year as well. A 2017 Rookie of the Year payoff pitch will do another.
Yeah, he was outstanding
Doc
that
was
year.
saying.
Go ahead, Case.
Doc was saying before the game, he was talking about Bellinger, and we were saying, hey, what does he need to be better at? And Doc was saying, hey, he needs to get on the heater. You know, we want to get him back on the heater. You saw him swing through those 2 fastballs, looked a little long, then he gets that pitch right down the middle and fouls it off. I think Keller's going to keep attacking him with that heater and challenge him to hit it.
He does. He punishes it to right field. It'll drop, and Turner is trucking for third, and he'll make it there. So runners on the corners to start the inning on the base hit for Bellinger. StatCast powered by Google Cloud, and Cody Bellinger only has 1 home run so far this season, but we've seen damage to different parts of the ballpark from Cody over the past few seasons, Jerry.
Yeah, he's been outstanding swinging the bat. The biggest thing for him is just getting back his swing as far as being on time. He's missed so much time, missed 2 months of this season. So once we start seeing Cody Bellinger be more relaxed to the plate, going the other way with 2 strikes, looking for contact like he just did right there, then the power will come.
He has that whippage through the zone too, Cody, where it's waiting, and all of a sudden you blink and the bat came across.
Now he's got incredible hands, bat speed. And you know what? A lot of people don't talk about it. He's an incredible athlete. He can fly. Great runner, going first to third, scoring from first on a double. Really good baseball instincts. You got Matt Beatty up first and third. Nobody out. You're looking for contact here. Trying to push a run across.
Beatty flew out to left in the first. And that pitch hit him. So it'll load up the bases.
Wow, this is where Keller gets into trouble. You know, he starts losing command. He hit Turner to start the inning. He came at Bellinger and left that 3-2 breaking ball down the middle. I don't know why he didn't continue with the fastball. Then he hits Beatty here, you know, to load the bases. So definitely losing a little bit of command.
He hit 3 batters in his career and 2 already in this inning, Jerry.
Yeah, I mean, again, command has been an issue for him. In the minor leagues, he's had excellent command, but for whatever reason, it hasn't translated to the big leagues.
Now it's McKinstry, juicy opportunity with the bags full of Dodgers.
If I'm McKinstry right here, I'm hunting the first pitch fastball, bases loaded, not great command. I'm hunting the heater right here.
There is the fastball, and then Iasonia behind the plate says it missed. That looked pretty close.
Zach McKinstry went to Central Michigan, did not hit a home run in college. His first career big league homer, inside the park home run.
.33rd round selection of that epic 2016 draft class by the Dodgers. So many hits successful in that draft for LA, and McKinstry, one of the latest ones, pick number 1001. There's the sac fly line. That's the depth you need to take the baseball based on throwing arms out there from Tom, Reynolds, and Evans.
Got the arm strength there. I like that. 84, 86, 85. Case, what was your arm strength at? About 97?
Like 66, 67.
So that green line would have been in the infield.
I took my kids recently to the Kennywood Park out here, which is a amusement park in Pittsburgh, and I got the 3 balls and lined it up. I'm like, all right, told my son Jake, here you go. And I did it. 67 I hit.
Past the green line for McKinstry, and that enables Turner to score easily. The sac fly puts the Dodgers back in front. It's 2-1 off the RBI.
And execution is so important. Sac fly right there. At least get 1 run with the bases loaded. He's still threading first and second, 1 out. So we're just looking at the ballpark there in Pittsburgh. It's one of my favorite ballparks in all of baseball. Just a beautiful park, especially in the day game.
It is beautiful, man. I live here and get a chance to see this park a lot, and it's one of the most special parks, in the big leagues, with the 3 rivers coming and the Clemente Bridge in the background.
If you've never been to that ballpark, if you're a fan, if you love baseball, make it a point to go visit that stadium.
2 balls, no strikes to Gavin Lux, and Sean, I'm jealous. You're there. You're the you and JP, half the team at the park today. You can see the bridge in the background. It is picturesque.
And it is a gorgeous day out here, guys. You should be jealous.
Gavin Lux is from Wisconsin. As you see, action in the bullpen there for Pittsburgh. Gavin Lux, one of those rare kids, grew up in Wisconsin, but is a Bears fan. And I'm a kid from Chicago, so you know I love that.
3 balls in a strike. How does that happen?
Well, he's smart. You know, he doesn't listen. And he doesn't adhere to the pressures of the Wisconsin and their cheeses. He said, you know what, I'm going to follow a team that I love to watch, and it's the Chicago Bears. Good for him.
He takes the 3-1.
Interesting right here, guys, to watch Keller. I mean, really losing fastball command. The one pitch he has command right now seems like that little breaking ball that he's throwing for strikes. So it'll be interesting to see what he does 3-2 here.
Let's see if he doubles up. 2 on for LA, 1 run in this inning. And that's on the ground. A nice backhanded stop by Gonzalez. He goes to second for the force. And the fielder's choice puts runners on the corners. So Keller gets the pitch he needs. Tough to turn 2 on that one, though.
Yeah, but Case, you were right. But he came through 1 breaking ball, threw a 3-2 breaking ball, got the ground ball. It's amazing. Hitting is not just obviously bat to ball skills. You got to think along with the pitcher. In Case, you're one of the best at doing that.
I appreciate it, Jared, but I agree with what we were saying there. It's like, as you can see, when you can start eliminating pitches as a hitter, and I see that Keller's not throwing his heater, all of a sudden I say the only one he looks comfortable with is really that breaking ball. Threw it 3-1 and then threw it again 3-2.
They're going to let him pitch to Barnes. You have second base open and Arias on deck. Is that the move, Jerry?
I think they're seeing if he can get Austin Barnes to chase. You saw that first pitch breaking ball. Now, if it's a 3-0, they may just go elect to put him on. But they're going to see if Austin Barnes can get himself out.
That's Derek Shelton's second season managing the Pirates. He was the Twins bench coach in 2018 and 2019. Barnes walked first trip to the plate.
And there's that breaking ball again, trying to get Austin Barnes to chase, but Austin Barnes ain't biting.
And you put a lot of pressure on Jacob Stallings to grab those dirt balls so that Bellinger doesn't scurry home.
At this point, you might as well just put him on.
Yeah, they're not pitching to Barnes here. No way. Just trying to get him to chase, like you said, Jerry.
So why risk it? You're at 3-0. There it is. Let him go to first. The free pass officially issued. Intentional walk. It'll be Arias.
And even though Austin Barnes went to ASU, and he's very intelligent, he knew what was going on. He said, you know what, I'm not going to chase a pitch. Works a walk here.
Help that on base percentage. And like you mentioned earlier, Jerry, Arias can make some loud contact at times. The Dodgers have some pretty good hitting pitchers.
Yeah, and they work on it quite a bit at home. They challenge each other, getting bunts down, but also when you have an RBI opportunity, put the bat on the ball.
He goes after the first pitch. It's fouled off. I know there's a solid competition that goes on. I saw Buehler chatting with Kershaw the other day, talking about their hitting approach. When you're so good on the mound, you have to think about other things to be competitive with.
They do definitely challenge each other. Who's going to get the most hits this season? I know Kirsch, he had promised me that he is going to go deep this year.
I'll tell you what, guys. This is a big victory for Keller right here. If he can get, he's had so much traffic. He had bases loaded in the second, really got out of it, and then he's only given up 1 run here. If he can get out of this 1 run, that's a win.
That's very true. You know, he's been kind of dancing around here, a lot of traffic, but if you can limit the damage here, you got to feel good about your chances if you're the Pittsburgh Pirates. So Julio Urias, 5 RBIs this season, because you know he could swing the bat.
Second most by a pitcher, only to Huáscar Ynoa, who's on the IL right now for the Braves. And Ynoa had a grand slam earlier this year to contribute to some of those ribbies. For Keller, we just saw his 70th toss of the day already. We're here in the 3rd, so that solid Pirates bullpen better get ready for some long work this afternoon.
Especially with that quick
right
turnaround.
there, guys.
Derek Shelton has done an excellent job managing that bullpen, but you're hoping to get Keller at least to 5 to kind of help out his bullpen. But right now, that pitch counts, it's climbing.
2-2 sent to right, and Urias connects. Bellinger comes home. That'll score 2 for the Dodgers. Make it 7 RBIs on the season for the Dodgers starter. It's 4-1.
Well, Julio, the pride of Mexico, gets a breaking ball up in the zone. His idol growing up was Big Papi David Ortiz, and he got a breaking ball center cut. He does not miss it. Great swing, head down on contact through the baseball. 2 huge 2-out RBIs.
And the big problem here, guys, Keller couldn't throw his fastball for strikes, had to go to the breaking ball again, goes into the, with a pitcher, it speeds up his bat speed. So, with Keller not having that fastball command, that really hurt him today.
Urias knocks out the opposing starter, Mitch Keller, gives up the 2 RBI single. Dodgers 4, Pirates 1. New pitcher coming in this 3rd inning.
The last half of the 9th inning. It's the New York Yankees 9 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 9.
I was just sitting there thinking about how in the world we're going to beat these guys and what's going to happen here. And somebody yelled, "You're up." I forgot I was up.
And Ralph Terry, of course, on the mound, will be facing Mazeroski.
Sudden death now, last of the 9th, 9-9.
As I was walking to the plate, the only thing I could think about was I got to hit the ball hard somewhere, get on base and get this thing started. I had no visions of hitting a home run or trying to hit a home run.
There's a drive in the deep left field. Look out now.
When I hit it, I didn't know for sure if it was going out. So I was running my butt off around first base and just busting my tail trying to get to third base. But then I heard the noise of people yelling. I looked down the left field line and the umpire's giving it this shot.
That ball is
Then I hit second, and I don't think I touched the ground the rest of the way home. I just floated him.
As Chris Stratton warms up on the mound here at PNC Park, we do have some precipitation here in Pittsburgh, which makes you wonder, did an inability to grip the ball in that last at-bat against Julio Urias perhaps affect Mitch Keller in those key pitches where certainly you would say the drizzle has intensified. Not quite a downpour yet, Scott, but it's somewhere in the middle. We'll keep a close eye on home plate umpire Dan Iasonia and the Pirates grounds crew as well.
Thanks, JP. Stay dry for us, please. Both games before this in this series in the Steel City were delayed by rain yesterday, 70 minutes before first pitch could start up. And they ended up completing the game close to midnight. About 12 hours later, we're back on the field. There's more precipitation, and there's a new pitcher in the game in the third inning, taking over for Mitch Keller, who lasted just 2 1/3. It's Chris Stratton taking over, a 3.27 mark, former starter, so he can give this team length. Already 3 runs across for the Dodgers in the third, 4 total, and the first came in the first inning from Mookie Betts, a home run on pitch number 3 of the day, his 6th of the season. And here we are, a 3-run game with the rain coming down a little bit harder now in the Berg.
And Stratton quickly ahead, 0-2 on Mookie Betts. Mookie, 2 really good at bats so far this game, the leadoff homer and the walk.
Yeah, third inning already, third at bat for Betts, and he lays off that pitch up. Stratton last pitched on Tuesday, gave up 2 runs in 2 innings. 4-seam fastball, curveball, slider, and some changeups in the repertoire.
You can see the
he's come out
and
of
the
the
Pirates
first 2
trying to
pitches he threw. That's
elevate that fastball.
Yeah, the first 2 pitches he kind of came with the off speed, try to get him to chase. Then he comes with 2 heaters, trying to put him away. But Mookie's not biting on that.
He went around, and Stratton struck him out. So he comes in, picks up the 1 out he needs, and strands a couple base runner, but the Dodgers attack with 3. They knock out the starter mid-3. Dodgers up 4-1.
Another one of those delayed steals.
He got the tag on him. He's out. Yeah, that's a tough play by Cole Tucker.
Wow. Reynolds switch hitter batting left. 1-2 is blasted to right, deep toward the wall. Gone! Home run for Brian Reynolds. And Reynolds with his 8th home run of the year ties the game at 1.
This is hard to center field, sending Marte back to the track, to the wall. Clear the deck with a cannonball. The kid, Brian Hayes. You've got to be kidding me, Charlie. And now they're loaded for Stallings. Line drive to left field. This is going to get down. Jacob Stallings, the cheetah, just doubled in. 1, 2, and 3 runs. How about that? Fly ball, center field. That'll do it. Walk it off, cheetah. You're hungry. Go eat and raise the Jolly Roger. What a grinded out win in 12 for the Battling Bucks. An 8-7 victory. The Pirates win the first 3 games of this 4-game series against the Marlins.
Last of the third in Pittsburgh. Dodgers up 4-1. Our first poll question of the day on YouTube is complete. We're looking for where the Dodgers are going to finish up the regular season in the division. And Dodgers fans are watching, and they're weighing in big, Jerry. 64% say they're winning the West again for a 9th consecutive year.
Yeah, a lot of Dodger fans are watching, but the poll there, the 6% missed the postseason. I'm going to bet 6% of those are Giants fans.
I think you're probably right. The Giants fans definitely pulled in and they said, no, they're not going to make it. Only 6% of them.
You can do some good trolling here with this poll question. Anyone that's not a fan of the Dodgers' dominance over the past decade. And we've seen them off to work so far today in a big way. A home run from Betts, a patient third inning to work through Mitch Keller's ineffectiveness with his command and ultimately knocking him out of the game. Betts also made an elite play in right field, a catch, and preventing the sac fly from going down earlier. And that's why the Pirates just have one so far this afternoon. Phillip Evans scored on a double from Eric Gonzalez. Now we're in the third, back to Julio Urias after a long layoff between innings. MLB Originals Season 2 is live on YouTube with new episodes every week. See your favorite players and learn more about the game you love on youtube.com/MLB. 9-1-2 in the order for Pittsburgh. Chris Stratton just took over for one out in the last half inning, and now he will be at the plate. He only took over as a relief pitcher full-time last year. Before that, he had been a starter, so there are 63 career at-bats to his name.
And if you're the pitcher, Julio, you're looking for that shutdown inning. You just finished scoring some runs, and you just got a huge hit. You got to throw strikes and get your team back in the dugout.
It's something Urias has done very well so far this season compared to the beginning of his career. In his first 38 starts in the big leagues through 2020, he averaged 4 2/3 innings per start. This year, he's a bit over 6 innings per outing. And he's
got teach experience on that. Yeah, you can't teach experience on that as far as going out there and learning how to fill up the strike zone, pitching the big leagues. You can tell Urias, especially this year, is really filling up the strike zone, maximizing his pitch count, and thus he's going later in the games.
Second strikeout today for Urias. Now top of the order, Adam Frazier, most hits in baseball, and he will bat with Hayes on deck. Frazier is mic'd up today too, so some good sound coming soon from Adam. On base percentage at .390 so far this season. Potentially could be a trade candidate about a month from now when we get close to the July 31st deadline. We'll talk to JP about that soon. He popped out to first base first time up. This time scorches one down the line. This is what Adam Frazier does best. He'll hustle to second with a one-out double. All right, Adam, we saw what you can do with the bat. What about with the mouth?
How are y'all? How are y'all? Go. What's up, Martin? You doing all right? Good to see you. How you doing, man? Good. You? Have a good one. Oh, that changeup he threw literally would have hit me in the mouth if I didn't swing and hit it.
It feels like, Case, the kind of guy who is talking baseball 24/7. It's one of those like, how are you? How's the family? Oh, well, you know, yesterday, did you see that play in right? As we see his 22nd double this season, his best in baseball. He's got that feel.
Oh, this guy's a baseball rat. He loves it 24/7, 7 days a week. And you can tell just by the way he plays the game, how hard he plays the game. Just how he gets after an at bat, how he plays in the field. You saw him before the game when he's mic'd up saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. So, you know, I love it. And when you see this pitch right here, that's what he's been so good on. Look how short and quick it is. That ball is black in the inner half of the plate. Lefty on lefty, he does a great job of being short and quick, gets the barrel on the ball and shoots it down the right field line.
You know, Scotty, you're talking about possible trade options out there for Frazier. He's a guy that could be a candidate for, let's say, the Yankees that have struggled with putting the bat on the ball. He's a left-handed hitter. Just a really good overall ball player. Scrappy. Any team would be lucky to have him.
Brian Hayes on the 1-2. It's back to Urias, and they've got Frazier caught. He's racing around, tag applied, and that's McKinstry recording out number 2. Hayes heads to first.
know, sometimes I joke about pitchers being kickers, but Julio Urias, incredible athlete. You saw him handle the bat. How about the glove right there? Easy snag right there. Get over to Zach, who applies the tag.
Nicely executed. So now Reynolds steps up with Hayes on first. And we're about to see pitch number 40 from Julio this afternoon.
Starting to see more and more change-ups, breaking balls, first pitch, attacking these Pirates hitters. Trying to get it over the plate.
Dave Roberts told us the Dodgers would love to see even more of that curveball and changeup from Urias. There's the slurve.
That's almost unhittable. I mean, it's a backdoor curveball that's on the, you know, off the plate, and then it's just catching the corner. That's a, if he can throw that there, you know, keep throwing it there. That's a tough pitch for the Pirate hitters to hit.
And that riding fastball right after that breaking ball, because you got to protect after that breaking ball. Now you were just 1-0. You're down in the count 1-2.
And he establishes that threat of high velocity. Then he has two excellent secondary weapons. On the 1-2, goes with the curve. Reynolds hammers it deep left. Beatty gives it a look, and it's gone. Brian Reynolds for two, number 10 on the season, and the Pirates make this a one-run game.
The power stroke for Brian Reynolds has really been there these last few weeks, guys. He's really been driving the ball to the park, driving in a lot of runs. He gets a pitch right here from Urias just out over the plate. Really a hanging breaking ball. Reynolds does a great job of staying on it, driving through it, and getting it out of the park. You'll see right here, watch this hanger. I mean, it comes right into the nitro zone. Middle in, gives Reynolds his eyes. His eyes probably light up. He waits on it and drops the head on it.
Now Stallings popped that one up. And Betts will jog in and keep going to the dugout. But two for the Pirates to inch back. Brian Reynolds thinking big. It's 4-3, Dodgers through 3.
Jim Leyland was always honest, and if he hurt your feelings in the process of telling you something honest, he didn't care because he thought it was in your best interest.
He just had very little tolerance for not playing hard.
He might not be able to get it. Bust your ass back there. You never know.
He's like, get yourself ready to play. If you're not, I'll find someone else that will. And that was a strict message.
Yeah, he's old school. Old school means you do things the right way.
Jim Leyland is, I think, the deepest, most knowledgeable baseball man that I know that's still living. Jim was not just smart, but he was gutsy. He was going to take the best shot to win, did not care about being second guessed.
I did my job, and I can look in the mirror.
Jim Leyland never takes credit for a win and always takes blame for a loss. And as a player, you can really appreciate that.
The game belongs to your players, and they're the guys that won it. I didn't have a lot to do with it.
I think he's one of the most amazing leaders in any sport of our time.
Pirates trail by a run as we enter the fourth. Bench coach Don Kelly played 9 seasons in the bigs, and you can see his post-playing career. Part of the Tigers, Astros, and now the bench coach of the Pittsburgh Pirates for his second season. Also a close friend of Sean Casey, and YouTube creators will take some of your questions for the Pirates bench coach, who joins us right now. Our Jim Beam interview in the dugout. Don. Good afternoon. And let's start with what you just saw from Brian Reynolds. Movie Gaming TV in the live commentary section said this has been a fun one so far. Great swing by Reynolds. Do you agree?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we got you, Don.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, it was a great swing by Brian there, and he's tremendous. Gives good at-bats every night and does a great job. Oh, we got you, Don. I think Sean's mic is struggling, so I'll keep going with you. Hey, let's move to Mitch Keller for a moment. I know last time out he was lifted early because of some heat issues that led to some stomach problems. What did you see from him today coming off the COVID IL? Yeah, he was doing well there early, ran into some trouble there in the third inning. And, just command was a little bit spotty, but, his stuff was really good there early in the game.
Max Muncy facing a 1-1, and it's 1-2. Hey, tell us a little bit.
Donnie.
Oh, Case, you back?
Yeah, I'm
Case,
back.
what's up, brother?
Hey, Donnie, what's up, brother? Hey, I heard.
How you doing,
tell
man?
us what happened in your. Did good, man. Tell us what happened in your office today. Rebello told me something like you had a flood in your office or something this morning.
Yeah, I still think he set that up. We had a little leak, but Rabs picked me up, got my computer out of the way.
It's great, dude. Hey, DK, can you talk a little bit about Frazier, about just how good he's been for you guys, and just you see him every day. Like, what do you see every day from Frazier that makes him so good?
He's a baseball player, man. He shows up every day. You see the play that he makes there. Defensively, brings it every day. Offensively, he's the table setter for us. I mean, just the at-bats that he puts on, the energy and consistency that he brings every single day. He can't say enough great positive things about the guy.
So after Muncy rolled into the shift, it's Justin Turner who's reached base twice so far today. We're talking to Pirates bench coach Don Kelly this half inning and taking some questions from the YouTube creators. 5-point vids with this good one. Is making it as a bench coach in MLB similar to trying to make it as a player?
Oh, that's a really, really great question. Yeah, it's any job in Major League Baseball is awesome. Playing, coaching, it's just great. You guys see it out here, getting to compete against these guys, the Dodgers and all the other teams. And especially to be able to be the bench coach in my hometown has been really awesome.
All right, next up from Movie Gaming TV, Don, which coach had the biggest impact on you throughout your playing career?
Oh, really great question. There's so many. Once I got to the big leagues, Jim Leland was the biggest guy for me. Learned a ton from him in Detroit, and even now coaching, getting into the coaching ranks, being able to call him and just have such a great resource to bounce ideas off of.
DK, I got a question for you just as far as appreciating the game. The play by Mookie Betts a couple innings ago where he comes in, spin throws, and gets Rodriguez at the plate. I mean, what'd you think of that?
Wow. Unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, just to be able to come in, make a shoestring type catch like that, have the body control, arm strength. I mean, just the whole package there, getting the throw off to home plate, and great play by Barnes too to be able to pick that and put the tag on.
Statcast powered by Google Cloud. Look at Betts with the arm and does it so smoothly. Justin Turner takes one high and tight. Full count. Don Kelly with us right now here in the fourth. Dodgers up a run. The MLB channel asking a question about coaching life. Don, how has being a younger coach helped you deal with the players? I'm sure you love the line mixed in there. Younger coach, that always feels good to hear, right?
It does. Hey, I'll tell you, it's been great. Just getting off from playing myself and to be able to relate to these guys, understand what they're going through on a daily basis, and just the challenges of playing Major League Baseball, the pressure that they put on themselves. Such a tough game to play, but to be able to relate to that in this has been great, getting into the coaching ranks and being able to do that.
DK, what about Shelty, man? What about him? How has he made it easy for you as the bench coach, in that role for you?
Great question. He's been awesome. I mean, he's so consistent. He's funny. He's detailed. He's organized, and really, him having done the job before has helped me out a ton. And being able to understand, being a bench coach, and really the conversations and the communication is tremendous. Being able to, he lets me know things that he needs, and just a tremendous guy.
Don, thanks for the time. We'll let you get back to work. New pitcher coming in case you can say goodbye to your buddy.
Thanks, DK.
Awesome.
Appreciate it,
Case, I'll catch up with you. Yeah, thanks,
Okay,
guys.
man.
See ya.
That's Don Kelly, bench coach for the Pirates, who bring in their third pitcher today. Jason Shreve will take over for Chris Stratton. Dodgers threatening in the fourth, up by a run.
It's time for Ask the Dodgers, where the players answer some questions submitted by the fans.
What's up, guys? My name is Marshall Whitmer. I live in Charleston, South Carolina. And my favorite player is Clayton Kershaw because I am a left-handed pitcher myself. And I just had one question for him. So take me through your pregame routine, what throwing, stretching, and when it comes to your bullpen and stuff. I just want to know about that. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Marshall. Thanks for the question, man. I mean, I think my routine is pretty down to the minute. I don't want to bore you with everything that I do, but I think the biggest key for all of that is just having a routine that you stay consistent with. So whatever you feel confident in, whatever you feel like gets you ready to pitch the best, the most important thing is just trying to be consistent. So that way, when you do pitch, if you happen to pitch well or pitch bad, you can't blame it on something else. It's you're always prepared in the moment. I'm a little bit excessive, I'd probably say. I think my teammates would probably say that as well as far as my routine. But it makes me feel like I'm ready to pitch, so I do it.
Thanks for watching Ask the Dodgers.
Step up to the plate, compete online, and crush dingers in MLB Home Run Derby. Download on the App Store and Google Play Store for free today. PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A good one so far this afternoon. Jason Shreve, the third pitcher of the day for the Pirates, trying to salvage a game in this three-game set against the defending champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Shreve off to a nice start so far this season, and we saw the splitter there, and he's using it a career high 43% of the time, and it produces a swing and miss from Cody Bellinger in the fourth with Justin Turner on first. Scott Braun, Sean Casey, Jerry Hairston Jr., and J.P. Morosi. It's four-seam Case or it's splitter from the Pirates lefty, and Bellinger fouls it back. Let's go to JP for a moment for a little more on Jason Shreve. JP?
Well, Scott, this time of year we love talking about the draft, so how about this? College baseball, Jason Shreve was a teammate at the College of Southern Nevada of Bryce Harper. They actually met when they were 16 years old, became college teammates.
And Bryce was his catcher at Southern Nevada. This season on a minor league contract.
Good to see him join Bryce Harper in the big leagues, college teammates. Every time I think of Bryce Harper, I remember the Sports Illustrated cover at 16.
Bellinger stays alive. I don't think many people realize also, Jerry, that Harper's playing catcher at first. And if anything, I know he's talked about the fact that it just helped to expand his baseball knowledge, understanding of the game, and understanding of how pitchers work.
That's a great point, Scott, because as a catcher, you're in every pitch. You're calling the games, and you're gaining the trust of your pitching staff. So it definitely helped Bryce's development as a player.
You just saw the Pirates infielders bunched up to the right side. That's where Bellinger goes, and that's going to set up a double play executed by the Pirates defense. So Chasen Shreve comes in, gets the ground ball they need to escape the fourth. Here it is again.
Man, Gonzalez is that middle infielder that's playing first base. This is a great play by him.
Backhand, toss to second, bring it on back. Pirates trail by just a run. We'll head to their part of the fourth on YouTube.
America in 1981 was a place and time when the pages in a folktale turned at the right pace. Faster than the evening paper, slower than a tweet, with space to soak in the wonder in every chapter.
It's a fairy tale so preposterous, Dodger fans dare not open their eyes. El Nino is Fernando Valenzuela.
Fernando Mania was more than one of the best stretches of pitching in baseball history.
Did you take it off this? Sold out tonight. Valenzuela's pitching.
It was an experience without compare, before or in the 4 decades since. A singular story that becomes more transcendent each time we tell it.
1981 will be the year of Fernando Valenzuela.
The left-hander from Echahuaquila, Mexico, captivated Los Angeles and ultimately the country with his extraordinary pitching, one-of-a-kind windup, and unassuming way.
And of course here today, a lot of folks have come in just to see the Mexican phenom Fernando Valenzuela, and why not? He's the hottest subject in baseball.
Perhaps such early season hysteria could only be born in Hollywood. What else can be said but Viva Valenzuela?
Watching Mookie Betts' brilliant catch earlier today, a flashback to last October. Series-turning plays that Mookie had made up against the wall. The one also coming in, a shoot-top grab to double off a run that was about to score for the Atlanta Braves in that game. Incredible, game-changing defense, Scott. And I got to tell you, being here at Pittsburgh, watching it live, goosebumps because I'm watching him do it all in front of the Clemente wall. I see the Clemente Bridge in the background. You have to think about the great one when Mookie Betts makes that shoot-top catch, unleashes that beautiful throw, Scott. It is baseball poetry, as Clemente once authored in this city, of course, that World Series 50 years ago.
And that's golfed into left center. It's a base hit as the Pirates start off the fourth inning with Phillip Evans single. Thanks, JP. And in right field, the dimensions are also in honor of Roberto Clemente. That wall in right is 21 feet tall.
21 in this city,
hey guys,
means everything, especially because of Clemente. And that 21-foot wall in right field was one of the, when this park was built in 2001, that was a big deal that they made that that wall 21 feet high for Clemente.
In case, I've seen a lot of great right fielders. I've played with quite a few of them. Iaso Puig was a really good right fielder, but the best right fielder I've ever seen, in my eyes, as a player, has been Mookie Betts. He comes in on balls, the accuracy with his arm.
That's a nice backhanded stop by McKinstry. The throw on a hop, nicely picked up by Muncy for the out.
Zach McKinstry making that play look easy. One hop there to Max Muncy, kind of helping his first baseman out. In case you know this, as a first baseman, if you're going to throw it on a hop, make sure it's a long hop. Really good play by Max.
Yeah, really good play by Muncy right here. This is a tough pick. It's right on the lip, right in front of the lip. There's nothing right there, and it kind of kicks up on him. He does a great job of snagging that.
Evans moves up to second.
I always say, guys, you don't see any plays in the highlight reel if the first base is not picking it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm always shouting guys
Gotta
out.
have a good first baseman.
That's right. From Freddie Freeman, Anthony Rizzo, Paul Goldschmidt, Muncy did a heck of a job right there. And that is a really tough baseball to pick up. And first baseman like you, Sean, make it look so simple.
That's right, Scott. Don't you forget that, pal. They don't get enough appreciation. You just think you could throw anyone over there. It's not true. That's why Muncy's so valuable. He plays third, he plays second, but then you put him at first base, and he plays a great first base too.
You know, first basemen are kind of like the offensive line. You know, they don't get enough love helping the running back or helping the quarterback, you know, protect that quarterback. And Max Muncy picking up his teammate right there. Important piece to the infield.
1 out, 1 on. Kai Tom breaks his bat, and that's weakly to short. Lux is going to have to hurry. His throw is there. Look at this infield defense go.
And that's a great play right there by Gavin Lux. Little jam shot there. Has to throw it on the run. Got to hurry, make a strong, accurate throw. Great play.
The game is so fast. Watch this transfer. That transfer right there, man. These big league shortstop guys that can do that, and the timing to know, man, I'm going to get him by a half an inch right here if I get rid of it right now. The footwork and the timing of that throw was unbelievable by Lux.
That brings us to Kevin Newman. First pitch strike fastball in there from Arias.
It's a big at bat here for Newman. He got 2 outs, runner on third base, down a run. Big moment in the ball game.
Lowest OPS in baseball so far this year. Sends that one to right. Betts looking and finding it. And he makes the catch to end the inning. How about the defense from the Dodgers in the 4th? McKinstry, Lux, and Betts is always there for a scoreless 4th from Arias.
And so, from the brink of elimination, the Pirates got set for a Game 7 in Baltimore, chock full of confidence.
I had just gotten traded from the Steelers to the 49ers, so I'm out in San Francisco. But I've watched these guys all summer and how they're playing. I said, they are going to win this. I just know it. It was destiny.
Willie Stargell, the big man. The Pirates, they're a happy bunch. It is now 2-1 Pittsburgh.
In '79, we wasn't going to be denied at all.
The Pittsburgh Pirates just a little bit away from winning another World Championship. Kelly hits it in the air to center field. Moreno going toward right center, makes the catch. Pittsburgh wins it. And so this team, with its remarkable comeback capacity, proved itself all over again.
Pittsburgh Pirates, 1979 World Champions. That was your first one. It was wonderful, huh?
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Played with some great guys.
I definitely wanted this. It's something I wanted all my life.
We're up to the 5th in Pittsburgh. The rain has disappeared for now, and we appreciate you hanging out with us today on YouTube as we check out the top draft prospects. The draft is coming up about a month away. The 2021 top players available. You're looking at the list, which is very important for the Pittsburgh Pirates. They had the worst record in baseball last year. That means they get to select from that list. We'll keep it simple for you with our second YouTube poll question of the day. Who would you choose with number 1? Are you going seasoned college player or high school prospect?
You know what I'm choosing first? The best player available. I don't care if it's a seasoned college player or a high school prospect. You know, there's a lot of great high school prospects out there. Look at our draft. Cody Bellinger came out of high school. Corey Seager came out of high school. So I'm looking best player available.
That's a smart call. Beatty pops out into shallow left center. JP, what do you think?
Well, Scott, this to me is the year of the prep shortstop. We have a number of the top players in the country for the draft are high school shortstops. Marcelo Mayer, I would say, for me, is the one that our colleagues at MLB Pipeline have going to the Pirates. So I would affirm that Mayer is the right choice for Pittsburgh, but also Jordan Lawler, part of the conversation. Brady House, a prep shortstop, and of course the co-aces at Vanderbilt, Jack Leiter, Kumar Rocker, Henry Davis over at Louisville. Of course, the Dodgers had a pretty good catcher from Louisville themselves in Will Smith behind the plate, so Henry Davis is getting some buzz at the #1 overall pick as well. So a lot of great choices, and we even heard Derek Shelton saying as the draft gets closer, of course, this year for the first time happening at the All-Star Game in Denver, Derek Shelton, he'll probably start looking at some scouting video as well at the future of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And the Dodgers, for years now, are picking in the back of the first round, but they've done well. There's Shelton. Pittsburgh will have really a tough choice at #1. It's not like it's between two guys this year. It's between about 5 or 6, like we're showing you. Well, the Dodgers just find gems in the 33rd round in 2016, like McKinstry, who swings through the 1-1.
I think one thing with this pick, guys, with the Pirates, is that they really got to hit on this one. The Pirates, they can't afford having this first pick with so many talented players. They really got to hit with that first pick in this draft.
I completely agree with Sean right there. You have to be able to hit on the first pick of the draft if you're the Pittsburgh Pirates. You cannot afford, especially when you're trying to build that farm system up, you can't afford to make mistakes. So they're going to do their homework, and they're going to select the best player that not only fits their system, but the best player available.
They had the #1 pick back in 2011, and they hit on the pick. It was Garrett Cole, but his best baseball has been with the Astros and now with the Yankees. There's Cole in 2011. McKinstry to a leaping Gonzalez. He plays a nice first base. 2 outs in the 5th. Ben Cherington is the GM of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And this offseason alone, he picked up 14 prospects in deals for Joe Musgrove, Jamison Tyone, and Josh Bell. There's the one for Starling Marte last year at the trade deadline with the Marlins as well. So some serious quantity to fill up the farm system, and that's something Ben said they desperately needed to build things back up and get ready for the future, Sean.
Well, Ben Cherington's got a track record, guys. He built up a lot of that farm system in Boston before he was let go there. One of the ones that won the World Championship, and he was there as the GM too. But yeah, the Pirates, hey, they knew when they got rid of a guy like Josh Bell and they had to move some of the Starling Martes of the world. They knew that it's a rebuild, and Ben Cherington's done a great job at getting some guys in the system right now that could come up and help in the big leagues in the future.
And we talked to manager Derek Shelton earlier today, and it's a tough process. You know, you're trying to win now as a big league club, but you're also trying to develop guys, and part of that development is making sure you have enough guys in the minor leagues so when they're ready at 21, 22 years of age, they're ready to compete at the big league level.
It's a great inning from Jason Shreve. 3 up, 3 down. In the 5th, Pirates down a run. Their turn to bat.
Welcome back to Three-Count Park at Candlestick Point here in San Francisco as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning, and Kevin Brown is just 3 outs away. And the bottom of the order coming up for San Francisco. 9-0, the Marlins with a big lead, but right now the story is right-hander Kevin Brown. There's a chopper hit behind first base, and now Kevin Brown is just 2 outs away. One hop to Renteria. And now Brown is only 1 out away. And so now Brown is just 1 strike away from what would be the second no-hitter in Marlin history. Got him looking. It's a no-no. And Kevin Brown is being mobbed. The second no-hitter in Marlin history. on this Tuesday afternoon in San Francisco. A total brownout as the Giants do not get a hit.
Thought I was getting by him here, but if I wait and it does get by him, then I can't get to third.
You're in a tough spot. Yeah, I saw you try to go for the obstruction. That's good.
Yeah, he was on the dirt, and then I ran for him, and he got on the grass.
He got on the dirt.
Go, baby.
Hey, we do this every week on YouTube, and sometimes the guys are joking around. They're giving us really funny content. With Adam Frazier, you are getting baseball strategy. Trying to create a little obstruction there, Jerry, it sounded like.
Yeah, he certainly was. You know, it's one of those things where it's a tough play, a tough read for the second base runner. That ball's hit back to Julio. Now the count is 1-1, but Frazier, you kind of took an educated gamble there, but you got to credit Urias right there, able to make a great play and then run him back and get him in that rundown. So Frazier, a really good player, a really heads-up player. Just one of those things where he took an educated gamble and just didn't work out.
Ball and 2 strikes to pinch hitter Ben Gamel. And also the way that Adam Frazier just so seamlessly can play a variety of positions. Contact hitting machine. He's going to be a very valuable weapon.
You know, Scotty, you're just talking about the draft, and you know, I have so many, as Casey does too, so many friends in the game of baseball. They're looking for guys like Frazier, can play a variety of positions, and contact is king in their repertoire. Looking for that contact hitters. Sure, everybody loves guys that hit the ball in the ballpark, but more so than not, you want those guys that have great bat-to-ball skills, and Frazier is definitely one of those guys.
There he is, on deck after Gamel. Jerry, you know what it's like to learn a variety of positions and the challenges of playing those positions so well. And you've gotten to see the progression of Chris Taylor on the Dodgers and how much better he's become defensively, because you're not just learning your craft at one spot as a professional. You have to be able to pick up a different glove in a different position every day. What's that like?
Well, it's not an easy process, but Chris Taylor and Frazier, these guys learned how to do this at the big league level. You know, sometimes you guys learn to play a variety of positions in the minor leagues, some in college. But a guy like a Chris Taylor, he never really played outfield until he got to the big league. So he really worked hard, not just being an average outfielder. Now he's a plus defender out there. He's always had that great arm, and I've always been a firm believer. If you're a really good athlete and you can play shortstop, you can go play a variety of positions.
Urias spots one for strike 3. His third K of the day. Dodger defense, they take a lot of pride in run prevention. And we've seen examples today like Mookie Betts in right and Zach McKinstry at second base, who can also play a number of different positions. Gavin Lux does an excellent job at shortstop, and Betts can run down just about anything.
We just saw Mookie Betts right there. Mookie Betts, I say all the time, he's the ultimate super utility guy because he can play the infield too. He's played second base. He came up as a second baseman, but because he's got such a great arm, they put him in right field. You're always looking to draft guys that are great athletes.
Pop out, and then a double in the third inning for Frazier. And now another 0-2 pitch coming up.
One thing that has separated Julio Urias this season and past seasons, the ability to put guys away with the off-speed pitch. He's got 0-2 to Frazier here, looking to put him away with a couple pitches here. There's that slider in the dirt.
It registers as a curveball, but I hear Dodgers brass officially call it a slurve, which is just not an option on the StatCast selection. But just to give you an idea of what we're describing, and this time Urias with the fastball too high.
He wanted to make sure Frazier wasn't looking out there to probably set up this very next pitch. Got away from him a little bit.
Two. That's a breaking ball, and that's for Bellinger. 2 gone. Okay, with Adam Frazier just retired, which is not easy to do, JP, we wonder, will he still be in that uniform a month from now?
My belief is the answer is no. I think Jerry has pointed out that the Yankees are a tremendous fit. The Yankees, surprisingly, are struggling to hit from the left side. Left-handed power is what the Yankees are known for, but Frazier could really help them with more contact, the versatility. I would also say a couple teams within the NL Central, both the Brewers and the Cardinals both have some needs at second base. And Jerry, refresh my memory. Back in 2009, when the Yankees won the World Series, did they go to an NL Central team and find someone who was great playing all around the diamond and making contact who helped them win a World Series that year, Jerry?
They did. You know, they had a team that was full of talent, but they were looking for a guy to kind of lead that group with Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, Alex Rodriguez. So they traded for this guy from Cincinnati who could play a variety of positions. They go on to win the World Series. They don't re-sign him, and they haven't won a World Series since.
Touche.
That's good. I'm going to guess that's not the first time you've used that, but I love it. Jerry Hairston Jr., World Series ring. Yankees haven't won since 2009.
I'm going to get a text, I know, in the next couple minutes from a couple of guys.
It's so good. Still 1-2 to Ke'Bryan Hayes.
But in all honesty, teams always can use a guy like a Frazier. You can lead him off. He's got speed, very good defensively. And we mentioned it again. Contact, especially nowadays, is king. You're looking for guys like Frazier.
Big swing and a miss from Hayes. Swinging out of his shoes. 4th strikeout for Urias. A 1-2-3 5th. Frazier and the Pirates trail by a run through 5.
Make fun of me or my ball glove. It's sick over the head. Heart is palpitating.
Does a split at home plate on a pitch in. How about that flexibility?
Even taking a pitch, you got to watch this guy.
Right?
That was unbelievable.
Grounded to third. Gonzalez smooth as silk over there, and there Craig will come off the bag. Well, actually shouldn't be laughing, as it's not a bad idea. Oh my goodness.
And then there's nobody at first.
No way. That is unbelievable. Never seen that before. Javier Baez just stole a run for his Cubs.
2-2 pitch is reached for a little pop-up. And it'll be, hang on. Heck of a play here, folks.
Well, not only did he make the play, but he made the play while holding his cell phone and videotaping himself all at the same time. So not only does he leave with a souvenir, but he leaves with a toast as well.
Top 6, Dodgers up a run, and each week this season we're focusing on a YouTube content creator featured in our live game commentary section. Our creator spotlight shines on Cowboy Jeff. You can watch this Dodger fan create videos about gaming and sports. His goal is to share his love of baseball with everyone. About 2.5 million views on his videos, close to 30,000 subscribers. He only launched his channel 2 years back, so kids, YouTube creator dreams can come true. He also is from Dodger Films, a big-time YouTube channel. So hello, Cowboy Jeff. Give us a hello in the live chat, and we'll hit you back here on the broadcast. So let's finish up our second poll question of the day. Who would you choose with the #1 pick in the draft? Are you going seasoned college player or high school prospect? And about 2/3 of the audience goes with the seasoned college player. And Case, I think we're of course generalizing with a question like this, but it plays to the fact that hopefully it's a guy that your organization can see sooner in the big leagues. And guess what? Fans don't like to wait.
Especially nowadays, Scotty, is like, they want to see guys there fast. And, when you look at this draft, there's so many good players at the top. And, there are a lot of good high school shortstops and a lot of good college arms. So at the end of the day, I think if the Pirates look at it, maybe it's that college, that high school shortstop, a guy like a Derek Jeter that could be a franchise type guy.
I agree with Sean right there. I mean, just get the best player you can get. Looking at the Dodgers draft, I mentioned earlier, Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager, Clayton Kershaw, they were all high school guys. What if they would have taken a chance on a college guy and not got a chance to draft those 3 studs? So, again, you can get college studs as well, like a Mark Pryor, who was a huge standout. Strasburg pitched at San Diego State, was a stud. So just make sure the guy you're picking is a stud.
Yeah, high upside is the goal, like Garrett Cole for the Pirates out of UCLA last time they selected #1.
And don't forget, Bronny, Garrett Cole had some good years here in Pittsburgh. The one year he was 3rd in Cy Young. So, I mean, he had some good years, but, at the end of the day, they weren't going to be able to sign him long term.
Dwayne Underwood Jr. into the 6th inning, and he walks Austin Barnes. 3rd walk of the day for Barnes. Took that 3-2 pitch. He's on first in the 6th, and we're going to JP at the ballpark.
Well, Scott, in 2006, I was actually a young man, believe it or not, and I was covering the Tigers for the Free Press, and they traded for Sean Casey. I was pretty excited about that because, as we all know, Case is one of the great people in baseball. So Case goes on, he bats .529 in the World Series against the Cardinals that year. And what I want to ask Sean is this. When you finally got there and faced the Cardinals, a team you knew so well from this division, how much did that help? How much of a factor is it still switching leagues, even as we have interleague play, we have all that scouting information? How much of an adjustment period was there for you in 06, and is there now for players still to this day?
Oh, JP, that's a great question. I know for me, when I went over to the American League, with the Tigers in the middle of a pennant race, which was awesome, it was a little bit of adjustment facing those teams that I hadn't seen all the time. And then when I went to the World Series and we're facing St. Louis, it was like, man, it just felt so good to be in a place that in a city and against a team that I had played so much against my career. So I think it definitely helped me in the World Series being familiar with them.
See Julio heading back to the batter's box, trying to get that bunt down. We saw him earlier get the bunt down, then had a huge 2-out, 2 RBI single early in this ball game, trying to execute.
He is the pitching leader in RBIs at the plate this season, jumping past Huascar Ynoa of the Braves. That's bunted foul, and Arias is out.
And he's disappointed in himself right there, trying to help the cause here. You have Mookie Betts behind him. You only got a 1-run lead right now. Very disappointed in himself. Usually he gets the bunt down and handles the bat. And now Underwood against Mookie Betts.
homer, walk, strikeout. Those 3 at-bats in the first 3 innings for LA.
You know, it's been a joy to watch and see Mookie Betts play on an everyday basis. I knew he was a great player with the Red Sox, but to see him, his athleticism on display on defense and on offense has been special. Just one of the best skilled baseball players I've ever seen.
Jerry, I think that's the biggest thing about Mookie is that, you know, he hasn't got off to a super hot start offensively, but you have the appreciation to see this guy run the bases, make plays defensively, use the cannon of an arm. I mean, I think that's what makes him one of the best players in baseball, is that he can beat you in so many different ways.
And as we check out his last 4 seasons, the barrel percentage, which is good, and the hard hit percentage, which you want, is down this year, and it's trickled down the last few seasons from the career high in 2018 as the AL MVP. And you wonder also, Jerry, this year if some of that had to do with the lower back tightness he was dealing with in the month of April. I know he missed a little bit of time, so I wonder if we'll eventually have splits on those numbers where the second half of the season looks more powerful from a strong man.
Yeah, you're right. You know, he was dealing with that lower back, whether it's stiffness, tightness, or that lower back issue. And he also had a right shoulder injury that he really didn't disclose to a lot of people, but he understood the importance of having himself in that lineup because you're missing Corey Seager, missed Cody Bellinger for 2 months. He needs to be in that lineup. He was as tough as it gets.
And even when the bat is
not, he's a throwback guy. Yeah, Scotty. He's that throwback guy that says, you know what? Even if I have some nagging injuries, I'm going to play. You know, my team needs me. It's that Cal Ripken Jr. approach. I'm going to be banged up. A lot of people thought, oh, Cal Ripken Jr., he never got hurt. Cal was hurt all the time. He just went out there every single day for his team, and that's what Mookie Betts. That's how he approaches the game. Even though I'm banged up, I'm going to be out there.
Well, it's just always something from Mookie, and we saw that last year in the postseason in 2020. The Dodgers invested big, first off, in trading for him from the Red Sox and then extending him for 12 more seasons. So since the start of 2020, he has the highest WAR among position players, wins above replacement, comprehensive stat to kind of try and sum up his batting, his base running, his elite fielding in right field. This one hanging up there for the second baseman Frazier to haul in for out number 2.
Well, Frazier made that look easy. That is not an easy play there. He got the right fielder to deal with. Able to make that basket catch there. Really good jump on the baseball, over the shoulder catch. Calls out the right fielder. I got it. Makes the play look easy. Here comes Max Muncy, the manager Dave Roberts calls him the MVP so far this season, having a great offensive year.
Yeah, when you look at the stats, it's a fair point. And Max bringing the power, always the patience. He's had some monster seasons with LA. 2019, 35 homers, 98 runs driven in. And takes the 0-1 2-out pitch, and that'll get cleaned up and sit down the side. One left stranded. Dodgers still hanging on to that 1-run lead. Back to Julio Urias in the 6th.
Stallings hits one deep to left field, and this one is gone. A walk-off 2-run homer for Jacob Stallings.
What is happening? That is totally awesome.
That's hit hard to center field. Oh, great try, but no chance for Daza, so Stallings into second base. The Cheetah wants 3. Look at him go, and he's got a triple. They love the Cheetah.
We're in the home 6th, checking out some of the prettiest parks, most historic ballparks in the country. From Fenway to Oracle in San Francisco. What a view with the water. Pittsburgh is up there for sure. Also, thanks to some water out there beyond the outfields, the Allegheny. And then this water is man-made in Chase Field, but still awesome to drop a baseball in there if you go long. So our next poll on YouTube, where would you most want your home run to land? Monster Seats, McCovey Cove, Allegheny, or the pool in Phoenix? Ooh, I like this one. Jerry, where do you want your home run ball to land?
Well, I'm so glad that you asked me first there. You know, the Monster Seats, I got a chance to visit the Monster Seats when I was with the Orioles. I took Martinez way back into the Monster Seats, so I've already done that. How about the pool? You know, I was on the 2012 Dodgers when we clinched there in Arizona. We had a nice little pool party there, so I wouldn't have mind hitting a home run in that pool. I always have been a fan of pool parties.
Well, I was fortunate, Jared. I hit one in the pool at Arizona, so I got that in my books. I hit the first home run ever at PNC Park, so I consider that in my books. It wasn't in the river, but it's the first one. It's even bigger. And I think McCovey Cove. I always wanted to hit one in McCovey Cove and never did. I wanted to see someone out there like Scott Braun paddling his kayak to go get the ball. So McCovey Cove would be the big one for me.
Those are great answers, and I didn't know you hit the first home run at PNC Ballpark. Outstanding. Congratulations there, Case. I never wanted to hit one in McCovey Cove because I've always have been afraid of sharks. And we know in San Francisco, there's a sharks aplenty there. So I don't want to hit a ball in that area.
Yeah, that's why I'm skipping the McCovey Cove. I'm not on a boat out there, Case, especially not paddling.
No, Scotty, I think you would, dude. You're one of those guys that, you know, you like to do stuff like that. You wouldn't mind the sharks either. I love when Madison Bumgarner, when Muncy hit it off Bumgarner there, and he said something to Muncy. Muncy said, hey, go get it out of the water.
We'll go get this one, Case. Trivia question. The Cincinnati Red in Pittsburgh hitting the first ever home run at this ballpark, which was born in 2001. That was on April 9th, forever part of Pirates history.
Hey, guys, I left 70 tickets for that game. 70 tickets I left. So when I homered, I was like, oh yeah, I gave the family and friends their money's worth.
That misses wide to Stallings. Sean Casey, a .314 career hitter at PNC Park. You saw the ball well there, huh?
Well, I was so bad at Three River Stadium because I felt like I was still a fan with my dad at the game. I was like, I think I hit a $150 there. So when PNC opened, I was like, yes. At least I don't feel like a fan of PNC. I feel like a legit player.
And that was a pretty good lineup the Red Legs threw out there. Yeah, Ken Griffey Jr., a couple guys that go deep, but you're the one who hit that home run. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, we had some boppers, Jared, in those lineups. We just didn't have the pitching, but Adam Dunn and Austin Kearns and Griffey and Dimitri Young and Pokey Reese, we had some guys that could swing it.
Wow, and Sean, I just got the splits at the old park in Pittsburgh. What was it, 179 did I hear? 175.
It was so bad. It was so frustrating. I'd be sitting in the dugout at Three Rivers, and I'd think to myself, hey, this is really cool. We're at the Bucco game. And I'm like, no, I'm hitting third. I actually have to go get some hits, and I would just ground out every time. It was so frustrating.
That's why they knocked it down and started over for you.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
Stallings solidly struck up the middle, but the Dodgers have a man there. The shift. 2 outs.
Really good ball striking there, but not smart hitting. Rope right at the second baseman.
McKinstry is there to put away Stallings, and that brings us to Phillip Evans, 2 for 2. Singles in the second and the fourth today. Pitch number 85 from Marias.
And we talked to manager Dave Roberts. He wanted Julio to be efficient today, pitch deep in the ball games. Up until this point, he's done just that. 85 pitches, and we're in the 6th inning. He's given his manager a pretty good start.
Evans clocks it to left, and there's Beatty. A 1-2-3 6th, just like he pulled off in the 5th. Only 5 outs yesterday from Gonsolin, so Arias says, hey, bullpen, I got you today.
Oh, hang on to the rope! Deep! This one is out of here! Bellinger hits one way up there. Williams going back at the wall. Goodbye! Grand slam! Game busted wide open! An 11-run first inning. On a 1, Pujols hits the ball the other way, deep to right field. Reddick's going back at the wall. Albert Pujols, his first Dodger home run. His 668th career big league home run is his first as a Los Angeles Dodger. And look at the joy that he's playing with right now. The 1-0. Kills the ball way back there. His biggest big league swing. A go-ahead 3-run home run.
That swing pumped some air into this building and especially into that dugout.
New for us this season, this beautiful hardware, the YouTube Player of the Game trophy. If you're watching on your mobile device or on a computer, you vote. You decide who will receive this custom trophy, name engraved on it. Makes this one extra special. Break up things in the regular season for the players. Stay tuned for the Player of the Game polling options later in the show, and we'll talk to that player after the game is complete, live on YouTube to a global audience today. The Dodgers 4, the Pirates 3, inning number 7 beginning in Pittsburgh, and it looks like we're in good shape with the rain for the rest of the day. Over under odds courtesy of BetMGM. The line was set at 8, and so far pitching ruling, at least enough, slightly, a 4-3 game. We're staying under, and we'll see if the bullpens can keep it that way, as the Pirates actually have their relievers as their strength of the team, and the Dodgers pen has been really solid in this series. There's Justin Turner fouling one off to the left side, but Jerry, yesterday Tony Gonsolin made his season debut coming off a shoulder issue, only picked up 5 outs, and then the Dodgers said we'll handle it from here, and they did so well in a tight win.
The Dodgers bullpen all season long has been outstanding, and you know, yesterday Dave Roberts wanted length out of Tony Gonsolin making his first start. Very uncharacteristic, 5 walks for Tony last night, and that's why, as you see, a line drive right in the glove of Reynolds there by JT. Hard hit ball, but Dave Roberts said it was so important for Julio to pitch deep in the ball game because last night it turned into a bullpen game.
Nice little extra squeeze in center from Brian Reynolds to hold on to the baseball. Started the year in the corner. Pirates couldn't find what they were looking for in center field. And they said, okay, Brian, let's see what you got. Center fielder on the other side, Cody Bellinger, 1 for 3 today. That single in the 3rd inning, and eventually he scored. Dwayne Underwood Jr. back to work, the 26-year-old who pitched on Tuesday.
Hey, Jerry, yes. That's the pitch right there, 95 down the middle. It just seems like Bellinger's a little late on the heater. Is that what you've been seeing like so far from him in this season?
Yeah, we've been seeing that so far. We have. You got to remember, Cody Bellinger missed 2 months of the season and really didn't have a spring training because he had shoulder surgery in the offseason, so he's kind of behind. He doesn't have a whole lot of at-bats this year, so his timing's just a hair off. I think that the Dodgers would like Cody Bellinger now with 2 strikes to really shorten up and look to put the ball in play like he did his last at bat.
Digs for one and finds a single. How about that?
He's got incredible hands. He's a great athlete. And, you know, before 2 strikes, hey, let it rip. You know, try to hit the ball 450 feet, but do the little Ichiro swing here with 2 strikes, little cambio, down and away. He barrels it up. Look at that swing right there. Head down on contact, great concentration, shorten up. He gets the hit out of it. Love to see it.
I love it right there. You got to compete sometimes with 2 strikes. 2 strikes, you don't need to be up there taking a big rip. Compete. Your swing doesn't have to look perfect. He's out front, his legs are gone, but he does a great job of waiting and just flipping it to left.
And with his speed, ball in the gap, it'll be a 2-run ball game. That's why you always fight. You know, if you're Cody Bellinger, Mookie Betts, fight with 2 strikes to get on base because your speed is a difference maker.
Beatty on the ground, left side, and he comes through. Bellinger showing off the wheels, and he'll get to third easily. Runners on the corners now with 1 out in the 7th.
And there's that shift again. It comes into play. I'm shocked that they're shifting on Matt Beatty. He handles the bat. He goes the other way. He sees that the left side is open. And you know what? I'm going to hit a hard ground ball and get a base hit out of it. Great approach. You see the speed of Cody Bellinger flying around second base.
Yeah, nothing better when the ball's in front of you and you just know you can take it, run right in the guy's face.
Back-to-back base hits. Here's McKinstry.
And especially now with a run ball game, Underwood is looking for something down, hoping for a ground ball double play. And if you're Zach McKinstry, you're looking for the pitch up. At the very least, you want to hit a sac fly to push that run across, make it a 2-run ball game.
Did he go? No. McKinstry was off to a fast start this season, quickly making a name for himself. He was leading all rookies with 14 RBIs on the 20th of April when he hit the injured list with a strained oblique. A little quieter since he returned. Smacks that one past the infield, and the Dodgers have a 2-run lead. Bellinger comes in. It's 5-3.
That's why that first and third situation there is so important. They got first and third with Bellinger there. It opens up that hole on the right side, and McKinstry does a great job. I think that was a changeup, and he just hooks it. Sometimes, that's a changeup that backs up, and sometimes as a hitter, when you feel you got that hole, you just try and shoot it on the ground to make sure you can get that guy in from. See that hole right there? I remember Joel Skinner telling me my first year in Pro Bowl, there's a lot of money in that 4-hole when you got a guy on first and third where you can shoot it, and that's a great piece of hitting right there.
That's a great point there, Casey. Your confidence as a hitter skyrockets when you know all you have to do is get a ball in the air, and a guy like Cody Bellinger's on third base, I can get at least a sac fly. So I'm looking for hard contact. He gets hard contact, you get a base hit and an RBI. Dodgers have action, first and second, only 1 out.
And David Bednar warming up. He's got great stuff in the bullpen for the Pirates. But, hey, it's like our production crew and Jerry Hairston Jr. when they were setting up the pregame. They said, we need to show the variety that the Dodgers offense brings to the table this year. You had the Betts homer, but since then, timely hitting from the Dodgers, scoring in a variety of ways.
And that's something that Mookie Betts emphasized last season when he first he came over to the Dodgers. Hey, we need to score. If we want to be a championship team, we need to score in a variety of ways. Yes, the long ball is cool, but we have to execute. Sac flies, move the ball all over the diamond and execute. And the Dodgers have done that so far today. Eight hits for LA. 1 homer,
7 singles, including one from Lux.
You can see Gavin Lux last month or so has been so calm at the plate, a lot more confident, knowing that his talent is really starting to show at the big league level.
He was the best player in the minor leagues in 2019. Called up late that season. Played in the postseason for the Dodgers that year. You can see his numbers advancing to another level since the month of May. 1-2.
I think one thing with Lux too, knowing he's going to play every day as a player, you know, when you know you're playing every day and you're going to be in there, man, it's you can relax and know that, man, if I'm 0 for 4, I'm not coming out of the lineup. You know, I get a chance to really settle in and get my rhythm going and get my timing going every day.
That's a great point. And I think a player, especially a young player, always needs to feel needed. You see Bickford getting ready in the bullpen. You always want to feel needed, and with the injuries to Corey Seager and Cody Bellinger was on the IL at the time, he realized, hey, this team needs me. They need me to be that star player I was in the minor leagues, and he has certainly performed.
Rising to the occasion, and that's ball 4. Bases loaded up for the Dodgers. Yeah, Lux was so wise beyond his years, with a phrase that stood out to me in spring training after a really down 2020 and didn't start the season on the big league roster. He said, it's probably a good thing in my career to struggle early on, learn how to deal with it, learn how to deal with failure. Well, now there's been some success for him and maybe more coming for the Dodgers. They lead by 2. One of the big arms for the Pirates, Bednar, coming in.
Batting third, playing right field, Roberto Clemente.
You want numbers? Oh, he had the numbers.
There she is. A double for Roberto.
4 batting titles, 15 All-Star games, 12 Gold Gloves.
Caught by Clemente with a tremendous sliding catch.
But with Clemente, it was so much more than that. Watch the old film, and you see an artist at work. An artist who painted with his bat, and his glove, his legs, and that unbelievable right arm.
Roberto Clemente fields the ball and displays his rifle arm.
He's going to try for third. It may be close. He's out.
Greatest right fielder in the game of baseball, Roberto Clemente.
Like any great artist, his work just looked a little different than everybody else's. And with Clemente, that work was absolutely connected to where he came from.
In Pittsburgh, they call him the Great One.
This man has just impressed me so much that I'll never forget Clemente.
Push your favorite players to the top this summer with the 2021 Google MLB All-Star Ballot. Vote daily at MLB.com/vote and on Google by searching MLB All-Star Vote to send them to Denver, Colorado. And the ballot features 2 phases of voting to elect the starters. So head to MLB.com/vote or search it on Google, MLB All-Star Vote. Vote for some of your favorites. Phase 1 is underway now through June 24th. Then we pick top 3 players at each position, plus 9 outfielders, of course, as we continue along and eventually announce starters on the night of July 1. This is David Bednar. Maybe a reliever makes it to the All-Star game for Pittsburgh. They have a few viable options. Bednar, of course, their closer. Rodriguez has been awesome so far this year. Adam Frazier is a candidate, so is Brian Reynolds, and we know the Dodgers are loaded with all-star candidates. And their manager, Dave Roberts, will be representing the NL in the dugout as the skipper Austin Barnes with a big chance here. Bases loaded, just one gone. Bednar brings serious heat. 96, a bit off the plate, and Barnes fouls it away. 3 times a base on balls so far this afternoon for Barnes. 265 with the bases loaded in his career, including 1 grand slam. And there's that line, Case. That's the distance needed to bring home Matt Beatty from third with a sac fly.
Where was this line
thing
we
for
were
the Pirates? Yeah, exactly. Where was it?
In the brain.
Bednar's been really good this year, guys, at stranding inherited runners, and also with runners in scoring position, not letting those guys score. So we'll see what happens here if he can really attack Barnes. He could really go for a strikeout right here.
The count is in his favor, 2-1 for Austin Barnes. Looking for a fastball here.
Barnes weakly on the ground. Bednar goes home, and they get the force. So now 2 down.
Really good play there by Bednar, hopping off that mound, making sure he got the out at the plate. And a pretty good athlete. He's a big dude. You're going to see him hop off this mound here and make the play.
Who says pitchers aren't athletes here? You know what I mean? This is athletic.
Well, I say
right
that
here.
all the time, but that is athletic. Very athletic. Now, I wouldn't say that to Bednar because he looks like a big dude.
You'd be in trouble.
Well, the Dodgers are going for it here. Chris Taylor coming up with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 7th.
And we talked about Max Muncy earlier about being a team's MVP, or really a co-MVP. Where here's the other guy, CT3. He's as valuable as it gets to the Dodgers. Can play anywhere. 33 RBIs, leads the ball club. Runs scored as well. Just been an important piece to the Dodgers.
And he's going to give you a great at bat, right? I mean, this guy sees a lot of pitches, doesn't waste a pitch. What a weapon for Dave Roberts to have on the bench, right? What a weapon to have for him to have. You sit Chris Taylor to start the game, but you're still able to bring him up in a huge situation in the 7th and have a good matchup against Bednar.
In there, 0-2.
Chris Taylor, excellent fastball hitter with the bases loaded. Bednar, first 2 pitches, breaking balls. A knee buckling curveball right here. Now, 0-2.
That pitch was the slider. Not a word you hear every day. Well, Arias has the slurve. Splitter slider mix from Bednar. Let's see what he dials up on the 0-2. Got him. Serious breaking stuff from Bednar to complement the big-time fastball. Look at him go. In a major bind, he comes in, prevents further damage, but the Dodgers have a 2-run cushion. As we head to the bottom of the 7th, let's stretch.
It's time for Ask the Dodgers, where the players answer some questions submitted by the fans.
My question is for Mookie Betts, and I just want to start the question off by saying that you're a huge role model in my life as a baseball player, and I was just wondering, who had a big influence on your life growing up?
Thank you for supporting me and doing what I can to be a role model to a lot of kids, so thank you for that. And I would say probably just my parents, both of them were huge role models for me. The way they treated people, the way they went about all their business, it definitely put everlasting impressions on me, and I'm trying to do the same for the next generation.
Hey Cody, congratulations on winning the World Series and best wishes for a great 2021 season. My question to you is, what advice would you give to your younger self during the Little League World Series as a World Series champion?
To just enjoy it. Don't take it too seriously, but have fun and play the game hard.
Bellinger takes that one to left field. Goodbye, another home run.
Cody Bellinger, still ridiculous.
Thanks for watching Ask the Dodgers.
A little 7th inning stretch, some time to think about the MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube. Player of the game. Who gets the trophy? Like Pete Alonso did last week with the game-winning RBI against the Diamondbacks. This trophy means something. Competitive players in the sport want to add every single piece of hardware to the resume. We'll unveil that poll later. Let's cap off this one. Where would you most want your home run to land? And the winner, McCovey Cove. 40% of the pie. I'll give you some of the comments from our creators too. Ashley Sanders said, McCovey Cove for me, it would be a big splash. I like this one from the Pittsburgh Pirates channel. Allegheny River, it can float away, and I can say I hit one hundreds of miles. That's good.
I like that.
The Allegheny River, I'm not a big fan of because it sounds like too much of alligators. You know, again, sharks, alligators, not a fan.
You're scaring me, Jerry.
There's no alligators in the Allegheny River, I promise you.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
I just know there might be a couple tires in there, but there's no alligators.
Eric Gonzalez, Kai Tom, and Kevin Newman coming up this inning for the Pirates, and the new pitcher for LA is Phil Bickford. Phil last pitched on Saturday in Atlanta, a scoreless inning, just 13 pitches. Heavy fastball guy, uses the four-seamer 80% of the time. Goes off speed. It's 1-2.
Yeah, he's been a find for the Dodgers. You know, with a lot of injuries that they've had with their bullpen. He's been asked to come in and pitch in later in the innings, sometimes the 7th, 8th inning to get key outs. He's done a great job.
And he strikes out Gonzalez.
That's a filthy slider right there. Bickford rears back, man. Look at this, the deception of that pitch. It looks like it's right down the middle. As a hitter, when you see it right about there, you think it's a fastball, and then it just leaves you. Great pitch.
And that's why, in case, that's why the fastball is so important. When you get ahead with that fastball, you know, and that slider is basically on the same plane of that fastball, is very deceptive and tough to hit.
I mean, that's some serious horizontal movement on his slider. Mostly a two-pitch guy. There's the heat. JP, the Dodgers have, what, a few arms that can get the job done? What do you think?
Well, 1 through 4, Scott, it's hard to think of a better rotation anywhere in baseball, and the bullpen has been solid as usual. But I would say that pitching depth in general will be a focus of this team at the trade deadline. Consider what happened in last night's game. Tony Gonsolin, in his very first outing in the major leagues this season, 1 2/3 innings, 5 walks. 5 walks. I think with Gonsolin's struggles last night, of course, Dustin May out for the year. They'll watch Gonsolin carefully, but when you consider how much they like having David Price and Jimmy Nelson in the bullpen, there might be a spot, Scott, for a swing-type pitcher who can either start for you or be a bulk innings guy like they had with Dustin May last year in October. That role seems available for this team going forward.
Thanks, JP. Now 2-2 to Kai Tom. Wow, Bickford is producing some pretty ugly swings from the first couple hitters that he's faced. Case, it looks like it's been tough to pick up the baseball.
Man, it looks like that fastball's riding. That 93-94 looks a little more a little harder the way some of the swings these guys are taking. Looks like more like 96, 97.
Well, guys, you know, Twitter is something else. I just got tweeted at by Rob Perky. This is from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Another alligator found roaming Pittsburgh. So definitely there are alligators near or in that river.
I think it's just a University of Florida graduate. It's a Florida gator. They're confusing things.
Oh, my God.
I'm telling you, October 2nd, 2019. Guys, watch out. Alligators roaming the swamps, the river. Look out.
I have never seen an alligator out there in that river. I'm telling you, I've swam in those rivers before. I didn't come out too clean, but I was swimming in them.
(3-2). Kai Tom broke his bat. Shallow center. Who's got it? It's Taylor. Okay, so LA is trying to pick things up in a very competitive division. They're 36-25, and they have dominated against the 5 worst teams in the National League. They're 17-2, and then look what's coming up. A last place Texas Rangers team, a decent Philadelphia Phillies squad, then the worst club in baseball, the Arizona Diamondbacks, then the gauntlet, Padres, Cubs, Giants. So a chance for the Dodgers to get on quite a roll until they run into the Padres again. LA going for a 3rd consecutive win this afternoon. A little soft spot in the schedule.
Hey guys, I played for manager Dusty Baker, and he always emphasized when you're playing teams you're supposed to beat, you have to make sure you do not lose your concentration. Continue to play your game. And really, Dusty never gave pep talks when we're facing teams that were, let's say, the elite teams, because he knew his teams would get up for those games.
Kevin Newman into left center. That's Zach McKinstry, newly out there. He can play wherever. 3 up, 3 down in the 7th as the Pirates trail by a couple runs at PNC Park. A good one here on YouTube this afternoon.
Just smokes it.
Forget about it.
Oh, my goodness. Great baseball right there.
And that one's gonna go.
That ball was crushed.
And this is gonna do it. Oh my.
Strike 3. That was a great play.
I talked about his fielding skills. That was remarkable.
Something like this is what they came for.
Google Cloud is helping to power StatCast with massive amounts of data points to reveal new insights, taking you deeper into the game than ever before. Google Cloud is the official cloud technology of Major League Baseball. And a little bit of drizzling going on again at PNC. The sky is getting darker. All right, COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Join the team and get the vaccine to help get us all get back to doing what we love together. Visit MLB.com/COVID-19 resources for more information. Dodgers 5, Pirates 3, heading to the 8th. Scott Braun, Sean Casey, Jerry Hairston Jr., JP Morosi. And the Pirates queuing Kyle Crick to take over. Another excellent reliever ERA in the 1.5 range so far this year. Best part of the Pirates has been the bullpen case. So when they do have a lead, they can seal the deal. And that's why you've actually seen quite a few close wins and losses for the Pirates, because even if a starter struggles, like Mitch Keller today, bullpen has been really solid, doing their job all season long as the rain gets a little heavier now.
No, Shelty has had a great bullpen out there. Crick has been really, really good. Batting average against .061. This guy's been really filling up the strike zone. There, just as I say that, Mookie Betts gets a knock to left.
Of course he does. Third time reaching today. Second hit of the afternoon. A walk, a homer, and now a base hit.
He's really looked good and comfortable at the plate. Really the last couple nights here in Pittsburgh. He gets a breaking ball. Outer third, gets the barrel on it. Rifles it to left for a leadoff single.
Just the fourth hit allowed by Kyle Crick all season.
That's amazing.
A pretty good speed. I know the rain's coming down, slick conditions, but Mookie Betts always a threat to steal a base.
Oops.
And Betts off to second. Well, tough to hold on to the baseball too. No, but that was called dead on a timeout. Betts going, just in case, I'm going to take second, okay?
Yeah, I know we're at the top of the order, and Max Muncy hitting second, but the guy we haven't talked about so far today is Albert Pujols. Guys, Albert Pujols has been on fire ever since he put on that Dodger uniform. Has been big off the bench and in spot starts.
Jerry, have you got a chance to talk to him at all? Is he happy with his role in LA? Is he, content with how they're using him?
I haven't had a chance to talk to him personally, but he's been on our on air in LA as Bookie's running on the pitch, foul ball. But to get back to Albert, he's been all smiles, and I've talked to Clayton Kershaw, and Kershaw told me that he has been the happiest he's ever seen him. He's really energized this ball club, because you remember before signing Albert Pujols, the Dodgers were a little bit of a lull. Weren't playing very, very good baseball. The defense wasn't, as up to their standard. Offense wasn't up to their standard. But Albert Pujols injected life to this team, and he has been an incredible teammate. Guys love him, and his production has been there. I mean, he's swinging the bat, key RBIs, and I believe he has 4 or 5 home runs in that Dodger uniform. And manager Dave Roberts is going to use him, wisely. They're not going to run him out there every day, but he's going to get enough at bats and keep him relevant.
And it gives the Dodgers 4 former MVPs on their roster. Only 4 teams in baseball history have been able to say that. It seems like an ideal fit. First off, he didn't have to move much going for the Angels, from the Angels to the Dodgers. And there's the teams with 4 former MVP winners, 96 Sox, 82 Angels, and the Big Red Machine in 1978 with Rose, Morgan, Foster, and Johnny Bench. But Albert Pujols is the oldest player in Major League Baseball. He moves over from the Angels and continues his 21-year career and finds a home with LA when not only were they going through a lull, but they needed some help, specifically against left-handed pitching, and that's where Albert has thrived this year.
And another point there, Scott, the Dodgers, like a lot of clubs, they use analytics, but they also understand the importance of having good character, great clubhouse guys, veteran presence. In years past, they've had David Freese, they've had Chase Utley. Now Albert Pujols, he provides not only production, but also leadership, those intangibles that championship teams need.
I think he'd love to grab another ring too, Case, before the career is all said and done. He's got 2.
That's why he's there, Bronny. I really believe that. And I was fortunate enough to play against him most of the time. Most of my career was in the NL Central. I got to see Pujols when he came up in 01, and then for the next, I think, 6 years, it was unbelievable. I'd never seen anything like it. The way this guy could just line to line, gap to gap. He would hit a ball to right center, look like a power hit, and lefty hit it, man. It was just never gave a pitch away. He walked more than he struck out. It was a clinic when you watched him hit.
Full count pitch. We'll do another. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Let's look at the splits. 4 long balls with the Dodgers. He went deep 5 times with the Angels. And there it is, Sean. He can send it to all parts of the ballpark. Actually, for a few seasons late in his career, he was primarily just pull power, but he's gone back to spraying the baseball with power all over. And he's done it well for the Dodgers so far in his short time with the team. That misses to Muncy, ball 4, now 2 on for LA. But you think about the valuable bench role that Albert Pujols has provided behind Max Muncy at first, especially when Muncy has dealt with a right ankle sprain in the past week or so. It's a pretty nice backup to have if you're LA. JP, what else do you have for us on Pujols? And actually before that, are we going to be able to keep rolling with this game? How's the weather out there?
Sure, Scott. Well, the forecast here in the beautiful city of Pittsburgh calls for some rain with a chance of alligators. Wait, did I say alligators? No, I think we're going to be okay. I see no alligators here. I am, by the way, the member of the broadcast crew most closely positioned to the river. I see no gators. Let's make that clear, number 1. And number 2, on Albert, I think one thing I'll mention here, one of the people in the organization in the front office for the Dodgers, Placido Polanco, of course, one of Sean's former teammates in Detroit, he's one of Albert's closest friends in the world. And so I really think that relationship, when Albert was thinking about what he wanted to do next, yeah, some people were maybe surprised he went to an NL team, but I think more than anything, guys, he wanted to go to a place where he knew it was all about winning, where he knew the people there and trusted them. And I really think that relationship with Placido Polanco in the front office, and just knowing, to Jerry's point and to Sean's point, what the Dodgers were all about, was a huge reason why Albert signed here.
Thanks, JP.
Yeah, that's a great point there by John. You know, just knowing the organization, and Albert Pujols understands, you know what, I may have got 1, possibly 2 years left of my career. I want to make the most of the next year or 2, and LA was certainly the best fit for him.
Turner sends a ball to center, and it will fall on a weird spin and score a run. Mookie Betts, come on down. Dodgers doubling up the Pirates 6-3 in the 8th in rainy PNC Park.
Yeah, we just got done talking about Albert Pujols.
Did you, the steal that Mookie Betts had earlier, he stole that base on Crick. Boom, he went from second to third, no big deal. Set this up for first and third for Turner to hit a little, you know, off the end of the bat to center field. Betts scores easily.
You know, we talk about Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, CC3, and Albert Pujols, but really what the heartbeat of this ball club the last 5 or 6 years, especially for the lineup, has been Justin Turner. You know, we joke around Mr. JT, the Red Dream, but he definitely has been that. He has been the coach's, manager's dream, filling him in that 3-hole, knowing that you're going to get production. And he's been the perfect 3-hole hitter for the Dodgers the last 5 or 6 years.
Bellinger in the cleanup spot. Pujols on deck. Rain coming down pretty good. Here in the 8th, Betts base hit. Up to second on the Muncy walk. Betts steals third and comes home on the Turner single. Now Bellinger. Look at Kyle Crick, 3 hits allowed in his first 17 appearances, and the Dodgers say, so what? We've got 2 today. Nobody out in the 8th. We'll see if that's good enough for Hayes to grab, and he got it!
Whoa, wow. What a play.
He made that catch.
What a, oh my gosh. what a play right here by Brian Hayes on the tarp. I mean, he has to go so far. I'd have to say he went over 100 feet to get this ball, looks like. And look how nice and easy he comes. This is an unbelievable tough play, just nonchalant, right by the tarp, makes the play. Wow, unbelievable.
So many great athletes in the game today. We saw Mookie Betts earlier. Now Hayes over the shoulder catch. You got the tarp, rain pouring down. Cody Bellinger can't believe it. Ranging far down the left field line. He can't believe it. Incredible play by Hayes.
That's a future Gold Glover right there. If Nolan Arenado ever wants to give up his status in the National League. But Brian Hayes already looks like one of the best in the biz at the hot corner. And now here's Albert. Two and 0. All right, so Sean Casey talked as much as anyone, I'd say, in Major League history at first base with opposing base runners. So were there ever any combos with this guy, an all-time great?
Oh, with Albert? I had many conversations with Albert. Yeah, I always pick his brain about hitting. I'm like, how do you hit line drives all over the place with the authority that you hit it with? And one of them was, I remember him talking to me. He was talking about really like staying on top of the ball. He's like, I remember one day he was like, Case, just do what I do. I try to just come down on the ball and then drive it to right center. I'm like, man, you make it look too easy, brother. It's not that easy. Great guy, though. Many a conversation.
Sean,
great guy.
Sean, you mentioned that you got a chance to play, and you were fortunate enough to play against Albert all those years, where I was unfortunate to play against Albert because I played for the Cubs, the Brewers, the Reds, and he used to kill our teams. He's one of the best hitters I've ever seen. Incredible top hand. Looks like the umpires are going to get together. I think they're going to talk to the grounds crew.
Yeah, they want to check out the radar. I mean, you can see it, you can hear it wherever you're watching from worldwide on YouTube. 6-3 Dodgers in the 8th. Yeah, it's tarp time. So 3 days in a row in Pittsburgh. The game will step aside for a moment thanks to Mother Nature. This happened on Tuesday and Wednesday to delay the start of the game. This time we make it to the 8th. And here comes the tarp.
Guys, I've been so spoiled. I played for a lot of ball clubs my last 2 years with the Dodgers. Now I'm here in LA. Here at Dodger Stadium, I don't even see a tarp. Beautiful skies here in LA, but again, East Coast is different. East Coast is different. You got a delay.
Well, you get the seasons out in the Northeast. The variety, just like the Dodger offense this year. But it's been a lot of the same this week. Precipitation in Pittsburgh. Dodgers with 10 hits today, 6 runs to show for it. 6 hits for Pittsburgh to account for their 3 runs this afternoon in a game that started with Mitch Keller and Julio Urias, thanks to Mother Nature. And the game never came back. Jim Beam game summary. Dodgers 6, Pirates 3. It's called in the 8th. But Mookie Betts came back and gave us an awesome interview. Nice chatting with him as he homered for the 6th time this season and the first time since mid-May. Well, I thought we could sneak in a game in the Steel City without some rain in this series, JP. I thought you were going to bring sunshine all day. You did for about 3/4 of the time, but what did you see, my friend?
Well, thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. And by the way, thank you for including in that highlight Zach McKinstry, who played his college ball in my home state, Central Michigan University. By the way, they made it to the NCAA tournament this year, so inspired probably by Zach's continued success with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Loved Mookie Betts' game. I think one thing I'll add in addition to what we've already covered so far, you could tell, guys, late in the game, Kyle Crick never got comfortable on the mound because of Mookie's speed. Just the threat of Mookie's speed did not let Crick settle in. And I think that's just emblematic of the winning baseball that Mookie plays, and by translation, the way the rest of the team plays. And now you see Bellinger come back, some better at-bats today. I thought Corey Seager is out there, where certainly we'll see him come back too. Put this in perspective. The Dodgers, when you consider Mookie not really being Mookie for the first 2 months of the season, Bellinger missing time, Seager missing time, guys, they still have the best run differential in baseball. So if you wanted to get this team early, you might have missed your chance, because they're now only a game and a half behind the Giants. The Padres, we have seen, they have lost 7 of 10. Their offense is struggling. Do we see them make a move for Joey Gallo? And now the San Francisco Giants feeling the heat. Of course, they play the Washington Nationals later on tonight. They must face Max Scherzer. So if Max wins that game, they're only now, the Dodgers, a game back. Max Scherzer, by the way, could be a really interesting trade possibility, maybe back to his home city of St. Louis for Scherzer with the Nationals. But I have to tell you guys, Jerry, I was listening early on, I think it was all cosmically connected, because the team the Dodgers are chasing right now, the Giants, they're sending a former Florida Gator to the mound, Anthony DeSclafani, tonight.
Good call, JP.
That's so good.
Disco on the mound for the Giants. They have found some gems on the free agent market from the offseason. Dodgers win it 6-3 over the Pirates. Yeah, it's a competitive NL West. They'll head back home. We'll keep things rolling on the postgame show next.
And look who's coming up.
He comes out on one leg. On one leg, he comes out.
And with 2 out, you talk about a roll of the dice. This is it. 3-2.
We get to the 3-2 count. As soon as Eckersley goes set, I say timeout. I look right at Eckersley and I say, partner, Scherzer standing here breathing. You're going to see that 3-2 backdoor slider.
But the game right now is at the plate. High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
When he hit that home run, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Even when you're running out there, you're like, did this just happen? Did this really happen?
In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
It's the postgame show presented by Jim Beam, and you're looking at the longest win streak against the Pirates in Dodgers franchise history. That was matched today, and it's still going. You go back to 1952, May 4th through July 20th. They won 13 in a row against Pittsburgh, and same story. It's a wraparound streak that goes from 2018 up until today. Many thanks to Mookie Betts this afternoon, who gave the Dodgers an early lead 3 pitches into the contest. And congrats, Mookie, you are the YouTube player of the game. We already did the interview. Fans said, give us Mookie on the post-game show. We delivered. We read your mind. We knew he was going to win with the homer, with the defense, with the way that he leads this ball club, and leads the vote by far. As we put a lid on it, 72% say Mookie Betts was the best that we saw this afternoon in the game between the Dodgers and the Pirates. And Jerry Hairston, they had a great point. I think the people spoke, and I think they were correct.
They were definitely correct. Mookie, his abilities were on full display. Great offense with a leadoff home run. Loved the speed with the stolen base. And that play in right field, guys, I am still mesmerized by that play. Outstanding throwing arm and accurate.
Yeah, he does it all, Sean. And he's a fun interview, too. And I remember I asked him, I said, how do you make it look just so chill? And he's like, I don't know. And even the way he answered the question was just like, I'm like that. I'm cool. I was born cool. Everything I do is smooth. And I'm pretty much good at everything. You know, I can beat you in bowling. I can beat you in baseball. You name it, right? If there's like, you know, a big jar full of jelly beans, he's probably going to guess the correct number. He does it all.
If you're playing marbles with Mookie Betts, buckle up. He's going to beat you. You know, he's going to take you down in anything he can. I think one thing about Mookie Betts is we really got to see all his tools today. Just the way he started off with the power, got another hit in the game, came up throwing, got a chance to show his arm, stole some bases. I mean, he really did everything today, and he no doubt deserves player of the game.
Yes, he does. Most leadoff home runs since the start of 2014. It's Springer, it's Blackmon, and then it is Mookie Betts. On the other side, bravo to Adam Frazier, and I always give props to our players each week on YouTube that say, hey, mic me up, listen to the real stuff going on down at the fields, and this is what Adam Frazier was talking about today on YouTube.
How are y'all? Bro, I was hitting like 350 going into May. I'm hitting like 250 now. Those are like the first couple of hits I've had in like a month, it felt like.
You know how it is. Long year, man.
Long year.
Need this cloud cover all day. All right, let's go. Let's go. They might need a translator on this thing. With the words across the bottom of the screen. Uh-oh. I guess that's why he's not out, huh? What's up, Mark? You doing all right? Good to see you. How you doing there? Good. You? Have a good one. Holy. I'm about died. That changeup he threw literally would have hit me in the mouth if I didn't hit it. That's it. There we go. Score! Good play. It's all in the hair. So it's all in the hair. Got anything for me?
You said $100.
All right. Oh, Lee, dude. Seriously, might be the worst base runner in the league. I don't like that one. That was a tough one.
That's why I don't die.
I got it. We got rain coming in. We ain't gonna be able to play no more. That's what I'm saying, man. That's messed up. It's hot out here, man.
For like an hour and a half. So
let's get the hell out of here then.
Adam Frazier mic'd up today on YouTube. We appreciate it, Adam. That was fun, and Justin Turner owes you $100 apparently. 13-game hit streak for Frazier, as they call him in the Steel City. 9 extra base hits during that time period. OPS really great in the past couple weeks, but on the year, this is a potential all-star candidate for the Pirates, assuming he's still with the team by the time we reach the all-star break, just because he's a free agent after next season case. So it's possible that Adam Frazier is helping out another contending team by the time we get to July.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he keeps playing the way he's playing. That might be a good trade piece for the Pirates and somebody like a club like the Yankees or something that could use a good contact hitter in their lineup.
He seems like a good dude, always thinking about the game, has fun little one-liners too, Jerry. It was nice to get an inside peek at the life of Adam Frazier on the field.
Absolutely. This guy's fun to watch, and he's a really good baseball player, kind of a throwback baseball player, great bat-to-ball skills. I'll tell you what, if he doesn't stay with the Pirates, and he is a trade candidate, he's going to make a club very happy.
Any team can use an Adam Frazier. Playing anywhere in the order, contact hitter, you love it. Who will be mic'd up for us next week when we have Matt Vasgersian, Rajay Davis, Mark Gubiza, and Alex Curry bringing you the call of the MLB Game of the Week live on YouTube. Tigers Angels. It's a nighttime affair, 9:38 Eastern Time first pitch. I'll be part of that pregame show at around 9 o'clock. So, This one is complete. Back on June 17th, a week from today. Coverage gets rolling 30 minutes before that one, and we'll remind you about upcoming games with a little notification if you hit the bell icon. So for the heavy hitters, Sean Casey, Jerry Hairston Jr., the Ivy Leaguer JP Morosi, and our whole all-star crew, I'm Scott Braun logging out for now. Dodgers win in an 8th inning shortened game 6-3. We'll talk next week when we're back for more live baseball on YouTube.